All right, can you guys hear me well? Yes?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. Beautiful. 162 people already, sharp on the clock. I see Rod. I see Jan. I see Heather. I see Eric. Deepika, who is Indian just like me. Yes, I will always say that. Okay, if I see Indian people, I'm happy. I see Rodney. I see Roger. Where are you guys connecting from? Let me know in the chat. We're a smaller group today. You have been, I don't know how exactly, but selected, invited for this call. New Zealand, wow. Canada, Hawaii, Los Angeles. I like Los Angeles. 174 people already. Pretty cool. Indiana. By the way, I watched a Netflix show on the Indiana Pacers and how they did last year. Gosh, that was good on the playoffs. What's his name? Halliburton? That was solid performance. Loved it. Okay, Hollywood, Florida. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. So, as you can see, we're an international family, right? It's pretty cool. So, I think we don't need to wait for a couple more minutes. We're 179 people. Everyone is focused, cameras on. You're about to receive some massive value on this call. So, let's get started. Man, um, I would have loved to have a call like this in 2017. I can tell you that. The reason we want to run this call today is very simple. There is a lot of uncertainty in the markets, and I like to over communicate with the community. Okay. It's important to repeat the right messages. The US dollar is in trouble, real trouble. I'm going to show you why. $38 trillion in debt and climbing, a trillion added every 60 days. All three credit agencies have downgraded US debt for the first time in modern history, and the Fed decision is coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow. Bitcoin is swinging up and down. You've seen yesterday, right? We were on the up. It's pretty cool. One day we're up 4%, next day we're down 3%, and vice versa. The fear and greed index is pretty low. It's the lowest it's been since April. And yes, you're right. Fed is today. Um, Maybe it's a knot in your stomach when you check your portfolio. Okay. Maybe that's what you're feeling. Maybe it's lying awake, wondering if you should just sell everything and wait this out. Maybe it's watching other members post wins while you sit frozen, unsure of your next move. Maybe that's what you're feeling. So, fear, worry, hesitation, that voice in your head asking, what if I'm wrong? I get it. I've been there. I have watched seven figures evaporate because I didn't have clarity at the right moment. And more than that, I didn't have anyone. Back in 2017, 2018, I was alone. And that's exactly why I wanted to jump on this call today, not to give you more information. You've got plenty of that. I'm here to give you clarity. Clarity on what's actually happening, clarity on what it means for your portfolio, and clarity on exactly what to do from here. Does that sound good to everyone? Let me know with a yes in the chat. Cool. We have engaged people. I love that. All right, I'm going to start sharing my screen. We are 200. And whoever that was in the chat that defended me saying that the Fed decision is tomorrow for me, you're right. Thank you for being there for me. Okay. Can you all see my screen? I assume you can. Beautiful. Okay, so you know the drill. You know what I'm going to start with, right? As always, the disclaimer. Let me put it on screen. You love it. You wouldn't take us seriously unless there is a beautiful disclaimer at the beginning, right? So, we want to make it clear the statements, insights, and perspectives we're about to share are educational observations, and informational only. Neither I nor Decentralized Masters are financial advisors. Nothing said here should be considered financial advice. All right, let's go. So today, what we're about to cover. First, I will show you the $38 trillion time bomb sitting underneath the US dollar right now. Why all three credit agencies just did something they have never done in modern history, and what this means for every single dollar sitting in your bank account, your 401k, your retirement. Plus, I will let you know exactly how to think about this Fed decision coming up shortly and what the impacts could be. Okay? Second, I'm going to show you exactly what you should be doing with your stablecoins in this upcoming market cycle. This strategy alone will determine how wealthy you can get from this market downturn. This is the exact strategy that Salim and I are using right now with our own money. And I'm going to reveal what we have been building quietly for over 2 years that could change everything about how you invest. Third, I'll show you how to get your hands on the 4-year investment roadmap I have built that maps out exactly when to accumulate, when to take profits, and how to position from now through 2030, giving you a level of clarity some investors are currently paying me 150K for in one-on-one consulting. And so much more, of course. So, I do see a few new faces, okay? So it won't take too long, but I'll give you a quick rundown on who I am, and then we'll get into it. So I'm Tan, CFA charter holder, former Wall Street investment banker. The CFA program, if you don't know what it is, it's considered to be the gold standard in the field of investment analysis. The CFA program requires 900 hours of study over 3 years minimum and has a 9% overall pass rate. I ranked in the 90th percentile, meaning top 10% in the world, twice in a row on level 1 and level 2 of the CFA program exams. And the CFA designation is currently held by only about 200,000 people in the world. That's it. So you can see my scores on the screen, portfolio management, for example, top score, etc., etc. So I spent years working as an analyst for renowned investment banks and funds across the world. Worked in Paris, Amsterdam, and at Galileo in New York on Wall Street. But that's not interesting. What I actually think is interesting, and my biggest achievement so far, and by far, is that I'm also the co-founder of Decentralized Masters, this beautiful family that we have created, and we're all growing together. We're now the #1 digital asset community, but also education company on planet Earth with 130 plus people global workforce, working 24/7 across 27 countries. And you're a part of this. We have now helped over 4,000 investors get started with digital assets with an actual strategy, our proprietary ABN system, the most comprehensive investment framework this space has ever witnessed. We've done something no one else has done in our industry. We had our results third-party audited by Conquest Investment Advisory. This is the family you're a part of. You already know the results. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Okay? Now, that being said, before we begin, I want you to know my goal today is to give you my A-level best. I want to give you clarity on everything going on right now. And I want you to walk away from this call feeling better about your portfolio and the markets. If I don't do that, I have failed. And I don't like to fail. But this is a two-way street. I need you to commit that you will actually use what I share today, not just nod, not just say, yeah, that sounds good, but actually see yourself doing this, executing this, okay? Be fully focused. So I'm going to give you my best, but in return, I need your best. Is it okay for us to move forward with this agreement? Tell me exactly. I commit in the chat. I like that. Beautiful. And I hope you can all see my screen. Okay, everyone's committing. I commit too. So thank you for that. All right, let's go. Before we get into what to do next, I want to remind you quickly of what we said during the MIS on Thursday around what's happening in the economy. Okay. The US national debt just crossed 38 trillion. They're adding $1 trillion in 60 days. That's the fastest rate of debt growth outside the pandemic. Yet there is no war, no crisis, no nothing, just spending. Okay. And you are paying 3.35% average interest on that debt, which means over $1.2 trillion a year just on interest. JP Morgan just warned we're at 120% debt to GDP ratio. Greece was at 130% when their economy collapsed. Okay, we're only 10% off. Now, what happened to the Greeks at 130% debt to GDP ratio? Pensions got cut by 40%, bank accounts got frozen, ATMs withdrawals were limited to 60 euros per day, retirement savings obliterated overnight. And I bet you didn't know this, but I'd like to repeat this. The Fed is worse off than Greece right now. Why? Because they're simply trapped. Inflation is sitting at around 3% while the Fed wants it at 2. So if they cut rates, inflation heats up again. If they keep rates high, the national debt sinks the country even faster with the interest payments. And Yale's budget lab just showed that when federal debt rises, inflation and interest rates rise together. We call it the double-edged sword, which means your mortgage, your car loan, your credit cards, they're all getting more expensive because the government is trapped. Now, countries like Greece were backed by the European Union, by the European Central Bank, and the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, when things blew up. They had backing. The US cannot do that because the entire world depends on the dollar, and there is no lender of last resort backing the Fed. So if the US dollar breaks, everything breaks with it. And for people from New Zealand, Canada, Singapore, etc., don't you dare smile because you are directly affected. Because the US dollar is the global reserve currency, so you are not immune to this. Now, of course, we covered this on the Market Intelligence Summit, but you guys are top level investors or you aspire to become one. And we repeat, not out of laziness, but for emphasis. I'm making sure you understand how important this is for the legacy you're trying to build. So, with that being said, let's continue with the US for a tiny bit. All three major credit rating agencies downgraded US debt, and it's no longer AAA rated anywhere. That's never happened before in modern history. Gold, it hit $4,000 per ounce, up over 50% this year, because smart money is getting out of dollars. Have you ever thought about what that means for you? 401k built on the dollar, retirement built on the dollar, savings built on the dollar. What percent do you think the real inflation will be next year when the money printer starts again with full force? Let me know in the chat. Do you think it's 3%, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%? What is the real inflation? To help you in your thinking, think about your grocery shopping when you go and buy eggs or tomatoes or milk. How has the price evolved in the past 4 years? Right, I'm seeing 30%, 15%, 20%. 20%, right. Now, when they turn on the money printer, inflation again, your money loses value every single day. Now, do you know that at 20% real inflation, your money loses half its value in 4 years? Run the math, pull up a calculator, and do it. That's the invisible tax because you don't feel it. You look at your bank account, you have $1,000. You look again in a year, you have $1,000, but actually you lost 20%. Yeah. So I would like you to describe in one word how it makes you feel to solely rely on the US dollar and on the Fed for your retirement and the future of your family. One word. How does it make you feel? Unstable, terrifying, trapped. uneasy, sick, nervous. I get it. I get it. So we can see the problem. The US dollar is falling. It's by definition. It was built that way. The moment it's not backed by anything, what do you expect? Right? And we can see the solution: digital assets. Now, you guys might be wondering, well, first of all, why? And why don't you ever say crypto 10? Why do you say digital assets? Because it narrows your thinking. The word crypto has a negative connotation that these same institutions are using against you without you even knowing. When you think of crypto, you can think of get rich quick, um, gambling, meme coins, scams. But that's not the point. What they don't want you to know is in the digital asset realm, you can now actually buy assets like real estate, gold, etc., just in their tokenized versions. They're manipulating you for years now to think crypto is a scam, to front run you, and now buy every digital asset possible themselves. Digital assets are far more than just crypto now. That was just the first use case back in 2017. But now every financial asset will be tokenized. I keep saying that example. You guys have heard about AI. You know that AI agents will transact on your behalf in a few years. Do you think they will transact with what kind of currency? Think about it. Right. Made my point. So, the first way to shift the way you think is to stop using the word crypto altogether. Ban it from your vocabulary and approach them as digital assets. It's not me saying it. It's not just me, at least. I've been saying it for a while, but no one believed me. But now it's Larry Fink, the most powerful man in finance, the CEO of BlackRock that manages $10 trillion dollars. They own a share of everything, right? He's calling for the tokenization of all assets, as reported by Yahoo Finance. And look at this. If you look at this graph on screen, uh, you probably have seen in DA 4.0 or DA 5.0 if you've been through it. I keep saying it will be a $100 trillion market by 2030. Well, they've said the same thing, BlackRock. They agree with me. Okay? They're saying that there will be a 33x growth of the digital asset market by 2030. So we have to expand our thinking here. Well, you know what? You know what happened 2 days ago? 2 days ago, who saw that news? On the 8th of December, 2025. The SEC chair, the SEC chair admitted that tokenization will transform the US financial system. 2 days ago, he said that all US assets will be on chain in less than 2 years. In less than 2 years. In the blink of an eye. So, of course, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF alone, 100 billion in assets, 172 public companies now hold Bitcoin on their balance sheets. Guess what? While everyone retail was dumping recently, who was buying? Institutions. There are charts proving you institutions gobbling up and buying every type of Bitcoin for cheap in the 80K, 90K area. Of course, they're smart. These are, by the way, CFOs, treasurers, board of directors watching the same collapse you're watching in the traditional economy. The total digital assets market just hit $3 trillion, dollars, and stablecoins are processing 1.25 trillion monthly, which is rivaling Visas and MasterCard. Okay? I will answer all the questions about, just keep focusing, all right? I will answer everything. I just need to situate the context, top to bottom. We go from macro to micro. So, the US government is positioning digital assets and Bitcoin as the alternative. And it's not just digital asset companies anymore. You have Citigroup, JP Morgan, who used to call Bitcoin a scam or crypto a scam, Visa, they're all offering digital asset products now. Because the financial system is rebuilding itself on decentralized rails, which means you can now own assets on chain, fully backed. You can trade them 24/7 with no middlemen taking 6%. That's a massive difference. Now, I don't say this to confuse you guys, but to solidify that everything is moving toward digital assets. That's the bigger picture. So learning this is not a nice to have, it's a must have. Who agrees with me here that it is a must have? Okay, amazing. Now we can start diving into the micro, as long as you agree with this. Okay. So if you were on the Market Intelligence Summit around a few weeks ago, Salim and I gave our personal portfolio allocation that we're moving toward temporarily. That's important to say, temporarily. By the way, some of our exit levels got hit yesterday, so we've been taking some profit and moving in the direction of this defensive portfolio slowly. So just a reminder, the sky was falling down when Bitcoin hit 81K a couple weeks ago. We told you guys, chill, don't sell the red candles. There will be a bounce. We'll sell on the bounce, right? Yesterday, we hit what? 95. Much better, correct? So that's how you play the game with experience. Now, we're moving towards this portfolio right now, slowly. Okay, we're not in a hurry. We're selling at our exit levels slowly on exit ladder and slowly shifting towards this. 40% stablecoins, 40% gold, 20% Bitcoin. Now, why are we going for this allocation? See, I did not build my wealth by going all in at the wrong time because the market can keep you wrong even if you're right. But you have to stay solvent. Okay, so I built my wealth by being patient, by having dry powder, and by being positioned to strike when everyone else is panicking. Think about March 2020. The people who made generational wealth weren't the ones who were fully invested when the crash happened. They were the ones who had cash on the sidelines ready to deploy, ready to buy Bitcoin at $4,000 when everyone else was terrified and thought it would go to zero. Okay? That's what our 40-40-20 allocation is designed for. Let me explain why I personally think that for this period that is upcoming, it's the best allocation. Okay? And Rick, by the way, because it's a question that you might have on your mind, yes, the USD is a depreciating asset, but stablecoins are the only way to avoid the volatility while earning 15%. Uh, you beat the devaluation of dollar, you beat the inflation, you still make money on top. Okay? And by the way, the other two pockets, Bitcoin and gold, literally hedge you against the USD depreciating in value. Okay? All right. So 40% stable coins means we have ammunition. Keep focusing. Capital earning market beating yield at around 15% in stablecoin liquidity pools. Guys, 15% on your stablecoin liquidity pools is more than the 12% growth the S&P has returned this year. How ridiculous is that? The S&P is giving you 12%. It's super volatile. It's risky, right? By nature. The stablecoin liquidity pools are beating that with no volatility. Ridiculous. But hey, you have to look at this stablecoin that is earning 15%, it's a means to an end. So basically, it's also capital ready to deploy the second our team identifies the right entry points to buy low, right? A good opportunity. Here is an example of how we nailed it in 2022. Some of you were already part of the community and you saw the post and you acted on it. Congrats to you. Okay? Take a look at this post. I made it on July 4th, 2022. We've been playing this game for a long time. Okay? This is in Circle. You recognize the platform, right? So here's the screenshot and here's what I said back then. I'm quoting myself here. I am planning to slowly scale back here. Read here where my mouse is. I'm planning to slowly scale back until December 2022. In the next 6 months, I want to increase my spot exposure back from 20% at that time to around 60 to 70%. I want to deploy capital. Remaining 20% will be deployed then in Q1 23. Okay, that's what I said. I literally, guys, gave the exact bottom to the DM community. This is my post right here. This is the exact date when I posted it. This is the end of Q4 when I deployed most of my capital. Look at this. It's the exact bottom. And then the rest of my 20% remaining, I deployed in this phase. That's it. Okay. So right now, still, we're at 6x returns since then, despite the market drop. It's an 8x if you sold the top, which I didn't, right? I'm with you because I don't plan on selling the top. I just want to see the market structure break and then sell the bounce, which will be around 15% below the top. And I'm happy with that because I bought low, right? And that's what you should be excited about. So let me explain. Basically, what you should be seeing here is how buying at low prices is an absolute blessing. You don't have to second guess every market correction because you're comfortable. Okay, that is how you build real wealth. And that is why you need to understand the bigger picture of the 2030 plan and the 33x growth because you'll think, hey, a small 30% correction from here is nothing but an immense opportunity for me. I would be able to buy low, correct? Especially for those of you who join late. By the way, this post is still in Decentralized Masters Circle if you want to go. Hey, click on my name, you'll find it. Now, 40% tokenized gold. I don't think we need to spend too much time on that, but you understand, we're protected if the dollar situation gets worse. And based on everything I showed you earlier, 38 trillion in debt, 1 trillion added every 60 days, it's probably going to get worse, right? So gold will do well. Our target for gold by the end of 2030 is anywhere, it's north of $8,000 an ounce. Okay, that's our target. Now, 20% Bitcoin. Why? If I do believe that we're going to have a bounce and then probably we're going to drop from there, why would I not try to time it? Why would I keep some Bitcoin in my portfolio? Okay. Well, 20% Bitcoin means we're not sitting on the sidelines completely. We have skin in the game. We're participating in the upside because Bitcoin can be very unpredictable, right? And remember, why not altcoins? Okay. Remember that Bitcoin moves first, then only altcoins follow. You can see it on my chart here. I've been going through this chart literally on every MIS. Whenever there's a market drop, we reset and we start again on phase one. So either way, if the altcoins were to move, Bitcoin would have to move first. So what business do you have right now in having altcoins in your portfolio when you can just watch Bitcoin and make sure it reclaims the bullish trend? As soon as it does, and our two green lights go off, right? Technicals and fundamentals, you're like, Bitcoin has reclaimed. It's time to move into altcoins again. Well, we would tell you because we would do it ourselves. Keep in mind that we always tell you exactly what we're doing. So that way, guys, we are not overexposed to short-term volatility. Okay? So this is how institutions think. And this is how you survive and thrive in what's coming because you have to look at volatility as a massive opportunity as long as you know the bigger picture. Now, here's the part that gets me excited. Rates will come down. Tomorrow, there's an 80 to, oh, actually, today, there's, tomorrow for me, there is an 80 to 90% chance of a rate cut. Okay, fine. That doesn't really move the needle because the market has already priced that in. Okay. For all it's worth, I actually think it's probably going to be a very short term sell the news event. Doesn't really matter. What matters though is the Fed chair changes in May. The Fed chair changes in May. And the person coming in, every indication suggests they will be more aggressive on rate cuts than Powell has been. You have understood that Powell doesn't want to be seen as the person who will have left his seat with America in deep inflation. Okay? So what he's saying is, you know what? I'm in a political war with you, Trump. I am not going to let myself uh, be bullied. And so you'll have to wait. Fine. We adapt. That's it. So The rate cuts and the easing, that's the fuel. When the new person gets announced or before, and then they really start the massive easing. I'm talking about multiple rate cuts, right? That is when digital assets can then start their meteoric rise. Until then, they can't. And the market is going to front run that. So here is what, in a nutshell, I want you to understand. Number one, you should be praying for the market to come down in the next few months before the easing really begins. I know that sounds crazy. Nobody here wants to see even the slightest portfolio drop. But for some reason, when you go to Black Friday sales, you're very excited when the prices are lower on that same sweater you wanted, right? So why don't you look at investments the same way? I don't understand. Uh, a pullback, 20, 30, 40% correction, that's not a disaster. That is a gift. That is literally how Salim and I got wealthy with digital assets. I started with like $57,000, okay? I manage well over eight figures now. I never had to put a dime back into the market. That's all the starting capital that has grown. And how? Well, I had the right system, the ABN system, and I bought at discounted prices, right? I don't like buying a coin for expensive price. I just don't like that. Okay? So bearish prices are your chance to deploy that dry powder at prices you will never see again. That is your chance to build the foundation for generational wealth. So what I did, you can do it too if you play the down market correctly though. Salim did it, our mentors did it, other members did it, so you can do it too. Now, number two, you need to be extremely attentive over the next 3 to 6 months. It's not the time to log off. This is not a set it and forget it market. The opportunities are going to come really fast. They're going to be volatile. And the window to act is going to be measured in days, not weeks. So when our team, and I'm pretty sure here you all agree that we have some talented people in this team. When our team identifies the right tokens at the right prices, you need to be ready to move. So in December and January, I'm talking about now, by selling the pumps and building a stash of dry powder, we don't call that being scared. Okay, I've heard some people say, hey, I'm not scared. I can weather this. I'll just hold and stuff. What's the point? That's not financial intelligence. I'm sorry. Okay? So, selling the pumps and moving your allocation the right way, it's called being strategic. It's being positioned like the institutions are positioned. It's being ready to buy the dip with actual good capital that can explode after that. Okay? But it's called buying the dip that other people, that everyone else will be too emotional to buy. You will always hear them, yeah, I'll buy, but I think it should come, it's going to drop a bit more. Have you ever said that yourself? Oh, I'm going to buy, but it's going to drop a bit more. And then, whoom, it goes back up, right? And you missed it because you didn't have a plan. So now, this is very important, and I haven't shared this with anyone yet. Let me show you exactly how we're thinking about deploying that 40% in stablecoins. Because the 20% in Bitcoin, it's easy to understand. The 40% in tokenized gold, easy to understand. You know our buying levels. We gave it to you. It's 4,000, 3,700, and 3,400 for tokenized gold, right? We keep it simple. But we never really explained our strategy on stablecoins. So we have 40% of stablecoins. What do we do with them? Is it all going into liquidity pools? Let me show you, okay? This is the key to getting wealthy in this downturn. We've broken down into three approaches based on risk tolerance. So let's do it. If I were a conservative investor, yes, I would take that full 40% in stablecoins and put it into stablecoin pools. Because then you're not trying to time the market, you're not trying to catch every dip. You're generating an average of 12, 13, 14, 15%. That's what our team is able to do right now on your stablecoins. While you wait while you wait for the right moment to deploy into Bitcoin. For a conservative, that's typically the plan. So you can see we have some stable coins paying these yields right now. Okay. Yeah, I didn't update these guys. This is just for example purposes. You know that our mentors know which pools at which time. So when the time comes, when our team identifies the key levels, when Bitcoin pulls back 30%, you smile. You reactivate your DCE at that moment. You deploy at prices most people will never see again. Generational entries. The kind of entries when your grown up kids will come to you and say, Mom, Dad, did you have the opportunity to buy one entire Bitcoin for $50,000? And you're going to proudly say yes. And you didn't let that slip. Okay, so that was for conservative. Now, if I were growth oriented, it's actually very similar to the conservative approach. You're still putting the majority of your stable coins into yield pools. You're still generating that 10 to 15% APY, whatever. You're still building your war chest for those generational entries, but not only on Bitcoin, for those of you who are growth oriented, but also your favorite blue chips like Ethereum, Solana, or Tau, or any other. But you add one more tool to your bag, shorting. So, to recap, I would take 30% of those stable coins and put them in liquidity pools. I would take 10% and use it to short the markets during downturns. Now, I know what you're thinking, 10, shorting sounds scary. It sounds so complicated. But here's the thing. When you know volatility is coming, when you know the Fed is trapped, when you know there's going to be sharp corrections, why would you only make money when the market goes up? Should I just invert the chart for you? It will make you feel better. The institutions, they don't think that way. And you've joined DM to have the top level information and become your own financial institution, right? Well, they make money in both directions. And shorting, when done strategically, amplifies your returns dramatically. You're not just protecting your portfolio during downturns, you're profiting from them. But yes, you have to be strategic about how you do it. That is where Tyler's trading room comes in. Don't do it alone, do it with the pro. The man with the 87% win rate that is audited. He trades live right in front of you. Tyler was shorting ETH in one of his trading room sessions that members can join. That was live, up over 1,300%. But that's not only Tyler, because that education is paying off. One of our member, Daniel, recently just let us know he made 20K shorting the market. That was 20th of November 2025. Can you see it on my screen? You can do this as a DM member. And if you're a beginner, because I know what some of you are thinking. You might be thinking, Tyler, what he does, he's a genius, but sometimes it's a bit over my head. Who thinks that? You think that? Okay, good. Well, big news. Good news. We're adding Juan's trading room for beginners in Q1 of 2026. Okay? So as you can see on this email, it's sent from Daniel directly to Juan. Juan is one of our mentors who's really good at trading as well, past trader, right? Well, we've heard you. We're adding a trading room for beginners that will be held by Juan. If you already have access to Tyler's trading room, you will have access. Okay? That way you will see how to short as a complete beginner. Easy mode. And you don't have to pay us a dime. It's cool. It's on me. All right. We good? Now, if I were aggressive, you're supposed to know, by the way, guys, if you're uh, conservative, growth, or aggressive, you're supposed to know that. If I were aggressive, I would keep 25% in pools, waiting to buy the dip, and in the meanwhile, earning 15%, beating the S&P. Let's not forget that. It still amazes me, but it is what it is. 10% in strategic shorts, 5% in native market gems. Because here's the thing about bear markets and high volatility periods, etc., etc. Well, Tyler does not care. Tyler doesn't care. He simply doesn't care. Our audited results prove you that over 26 months, with markets up, down, or sideways, he still averages a total of 575% average performance on over 500 picks, which is wild to me. And if you don't believe me, let's look at this. A few recent examples, right? First up, Trader. That's the actual name of the token. Tyler and the research team called this gem in our last session on November 27th. Were you a member on November 27th? I believe you were. November 27th, 15 days ago. Not even. It was trading around $2, and earlier this week it hit $6. So that's a 200% gain in just a few days. Tyler does not care. Folks Finance, number 2. Tyler and the research team identified this one on November 6th. The market was already going down at around $4. And I believe it pumped again yesterday, I believe. What's the price? Does someone know? I had it at $13 last. I believe it's even more than that. So more than a 3x in less than a month during what everyone is calling a bear market, right? Tyler does not care. And then finally, yeah, 16.6 for folks. Thank you, Mark. So Tyler called it at $4. It's at 16.6 now. He called it on November 6th. We're December 10th. 4 point something X in front of your eyes. And then Edel Finance called on November 13th. That's a 360% gain in under 3 weeks on a token that, of course, no one outside DM has probably ever heard of, right? So I would like you to let us know in the chat if you got in any of these and what percentage gain did you achieve. Let me know in the chat. Most likely those who did are close to Tyler, meaning they probably attend the trading room, they probably attend the gems uncovered sessions, they're the most engaged, right? That's what I've seen by experience. But you see, that's funny. Very few. That means that maybe you weren't paying attention as much. Now, everything I just showed you, Greg got a 2.5x. By the way, we'll interview Greg today in just a bit. Thank you, Greg, for being here. So this is exactly what our most successful members are doing right now. This is how they're turning a down market into opportunity. But here's one problem, and I need you to really hear this, because that's the point I was trying to make right now in the chat. All of this requires you. You have to find the right pools. You have to monitor the rates. You have to watch for the shorting setups, attend the classes, right? You have to execute. But I'm going to be honest with you, most of you won't do everything. And we can clearly see it. DM is giving it to you, yet you're not acting on it. And I don't blame you. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't want to, but because you have a life, you have a job, you have kids, you have responsibilities. So what happens? You learn the strategy, but you miss the execution window. You see the opportunity, but for some reason, you don't pull the trigger. You know what to do, and you recognize it's right there in front of you, but life gets in the way. And that gap between knowing and doing, that's where fortunes are made or not, right? So many of you asked us a simple question. You guys are so much better than I am. Isn't there a way to automate what you guys do for yourself? Is that something you've been thinking about? Right? Well, that is exactly why we built the DM trading bot. The bot doesn't sleep. The bot doesn't get emotional. The bot doesn't hesitate when it's time to execute. It runs the strategies our team has developed automatically around the clock so you don't have to. And the results from this trading bot, they are nothing short of insane. I really love this slide. Imagine an AI Tyler. Very nice slide. We might have to fire the graphic designer, but that's for another day. So take Ethereum, for example. If you wanted to just hold ETH by yourself, you will watch the blue line, okay? If you had the DM trading bot strategically investing in ETH for you, that will be the green line, okay? And on this chart, there is no leverage. If you applied some leverage, which Tyler can teach you how to do, the returns are much higher, guys. We actually are showing you the conservative stuff. So over the past year, this is accurate data. I went over it in the MIS, but we want to go further in, okay? Over the past year, if you simply bought and held Ethereum, you would be down 15%. You would have lost money. The bot is up 40.37%, exposed to the same assets, same market conditions, same volatility, but instead of losing 15, it's up 40%. Now let's zoom out because 1 year data is not enough. So over the past 2 years, buying and holding ETH would have given you a 38% return. Not bad. Not bad. Most people would take that. Well, the bot would have delivered 88%, more than double. Same asset, same time frame. And as you can see, there's a lot of volatility up and down. You probably would have sold the bottom and bought the top, making it way worse, right? You should be able to see the slides, John. You have to click on Tan screen. Okay, now let's go back to 2022, the start of the bear market, because you might say, hey, but this isn't an up market. Well, no. I literally picked here the start of the bear market, okay, in 2022, the year that broke people, literally. The year that made investors swear off crypto forever. No one was listening to me. If you bought and held ETH from Jan 2022 until today, you would still be down 10%. Crazy, right? In 3.5 years. Well, after all that volatility, all that stress, you would have less money than you started with. The bot is up over 250% on the same period. So let me say that again. Buy and hold, negative 10%. The bot, positive 250%. And here are the all-time results for every asset. This is nothing short of insane. This is real data from Yahoo Finance from a 365-day period for all the other assets. So holding Bitcoin in the last 365 days, down 6%. Gold up 58%. S&P up 12%. iShares Treasure Bond up 2%. DM Trading Bot up 206%. And that's not a typo. So now you might be asking yourself, hey, maybe I'm conservative, growth, aggressive. How does that work for me, right? Well, let me explain. The great thing is about this bot is that it applies to all of you. Conservative, growth, and aggressive, and here's why. We can consider it as conservative as the volatility is only 3%. Let me go back to last slide. Look at the volatility of DM Trading Bot, 3%. Look at the volatility of gold, 19%. Look at the volatility of the treasury bonds here. It's higher than the trading bot. Insane. So that means that conservative portfolios, it fits. Now, it's also growth oriented because the Sharpe ratio is 4.49. Okay? 4.49 it's beating everything else, literally, over the past 365 days. But it's also aggressive at the same time because 206% return in a year. Look at this. And yes, this is a bot that DM created. Actually, it's Tyler, that you probably know of. So let me bring this all together for you, okay? You've seen the macro picture. And by the way, guys, I'll stay on for a Q&A. We have Greg, who joined us, will also be on the Q&A, and Tyler as well, okay? So if you have questions, don't worry. I'll answer every single one of your questions, and I won't leave this room until I do. Cool? For now, let's refocus. So let me bring this all together for you. You've seen the macro picture. You've seen the $38 trillion time bomb, the Fed trapped with no good options, the dollar losing its AAA status for the first time in modern history. You've seen the opportunity, the 33x growth until 2030. It's taking over, right? Tokenization, the biggest wealth transfer in 50 years. And we've been very transparent about our strategy, what we do, etc. Okay? The 40-40-20 allocation, the conservative growth and aggressive approaches to deploying your stablecoins even. Like that's the playbook. And you've seen the missing piece, the DM trading bot. 206% returns while Bitcoin was down almost 6% in that same time period. And now here's the part where I need your full attention. No more questions, listen up. Because what I'm about to share is only available to the people on this call and only until December 31st. Most of you are already on the waiting list for the trading bot. Our team is currently checking all your submissions. Do we have people in this chat who are on that waiting list for the bot? Please type in the chat if you are. Okay, I see that we have quite a lot of people already on that list. I've been through that list myself. It's crazy, okay? So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to very transparently present you the only way to skip this waiting list today. It won't be for everyone because you've seen it right now in the chat. There is massive demand. We've had over 400 submissions on the Market Intelligence Summit itself, 400. And since then, we've received dozens of emails from people who were not there. Okay? So, for that reason, we had to think on how to be fair and how to do it. So, here's what we've decided. The trading bot will be reserved exclusively for gold and platinum renewed members. That's it. No exceptions. And that at least for the first 2 quarters of 2026. So at least until the Fed's chair will be replaced in May. At least until that. This is not something anyone will be able to buy separately, and you can trust my word. This is not something that will be available at accelerator level, at mastermind level, or at renewed bronze level. If you want to access the bot, you need to be at gold level or above. So if you are a mastermind member on this call or a renewed bronze member on this call, we're giving you the opportunity to upgrade to gold right now before the end of the year and lock in early access to the bot before it officially launches in Q1 2026. Now, again, I can expect the questions. I've prepared a very thorough and transparent thing for you to know, okay? Let me break down exactly what this looks like. Right now, as I speak, we're opening access to 10 platinum members so they can provide feedback. Okay, we have chosen who they're going to be. They're going to be contacted. This is done. Then, during the month of January, all platinum members will be given access. All of them. Okay? Keep in mind that platinum membership is invite only. You would have to qualify for it. It's not only about money, it's about character. Then, in February, all gold members will be given access. Okay? And then access will be locked for Q1 and Q2 as we will be running at capacity by then. We know our math. For the bot, we will only charge a monthly maintenance fee for the bot. So $149 a month for gold and $99 a month for platinum. That's it. Which is literally nothing compared to what you get it for. Right? We have seen companies charge $50K a year just to give you access to their bot. And they don't even have half the performance we do. Yet we would never do that. So those who lock it in now get this ridiculously low price for being early adopters. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'll just wait for Feb to get my gold membership, right? Wrong. If you want to skip the wait list, you would have to do so now. And there are some very enticing reasons to do so today that I'm going to walk through with you right now with our end of year bonus stack. We have never done this before. And yes, Pete, if you're a brand new platinum, you qualify. These bonuses will be available only to the people on this call. Okay? Only on this call. I'm about to drop the end of year bonus stack, so stay tuned. Do not leave now. So first, if you are interested about what I'm saying, talk to our team and explore a gold membership. Here's the link to book your call. The monthly payment will be $149 for gold membership, $99 for platinum membership. Okay? Now, team, can you please share the link so people can book their call? Now, before I get into the bonuses, let me explain what you get access to as a gold member, because it's important to explain. In gold, you obviously have a gold badge on Circle. You're going to have your one-on-one mentor support locked in for an additional year, which is key to reaching goals beyond what would be possible on your own. You get access to our advanced office hours, only available to those that have gone through their first 6 months and are committed to the space. You get access to the trading room, where we give you access to all the trading training delivered by Tyler, the guy who created the bot, the guy who has the audited results. He is insanely successful and shares his tips with you. You get access to Juan's trading room for beginners. So if you want to learn how to short, this is where you do it. You will have access to our premium space in Circle, when you can find the gold inner circle meetings. Okay, apparently there are no slots. So you guys, I can guarantee you there were a lot of slots. So you guys are crazy. How many calls have you booked? Like, come on, guys. Relax. Okay, you'll have access to our premium space in Circle, where you can find the gold inner circle meetings, where you get to meet directly with the DeFi doctor, our head of education. Probably at the end of every market intelligence summit, you have seen us go to breakout rooms with gold and platinum, right? That's where it happens. So you would be invited to those. And lastly, you'll get access to our gold inner circle WhatsApp group. Now, why is the WhatsApp group, the gold WhatsApp group, so important? First of all, for the kind of connections you make, there's 200 plus high caliber people in this group already, in the gold group. Okay? Your network is your net worth, but not only. By the way, team, is the link working for the bookings? If not, can we replace it in the chat? If we have more slots, let's open more slots. Okay, so why is the WhatsApp group so important? Recently, someone posted in one of our chats they were on the phone with someone calling from Ledger. Because of the quick response time in this group chat, we were able to get him off the line with a scammer, basically, saving him from getting scammed out of over $1 million. That person is Greg, and that person is live with us right now. You will be able to hear the full story from Greg directly in the Q&A right after, okay? He was about to go forward with it, but our brilliant team, our mentors, stepped in immediately. And not only the mentors, if you read the chat, you see that other members helped him. So Greg is going to tell us about this story himself. Okay? So team, can you unmute Greg? And we'll do the Q&A after. Because before, I want to go to my next point. Okay? If you renew your membership at the gold level, not only do you lock in your one-on-one mentor for the most crucial year for the US dollar, the Fed, and so for digital assets history. Not only do you get access to both trading rooms, beginner and advanced, not only do you get access to advanced office hours, inner circle meetings with Doc and the WhatsApp group, Not only do you get the opportunity to skip the waitlist and get your hands on the DM trading bot as soon as we launch it, but because you're taking action before December 31st, we're including our end of year bonus stack once you upgrade. And we've never done this before. So here's the end of year bonus stack. You ready? Bonus number 1. Not only will you get any remaining time, because some of you haven't completed their initial 6 months membership. Okay? So not only will you get any remaining time on your current membership upgraded to all the gold advantages right away. Right away. We will unlock all the accesses right away. We will also give you 2 months on your gold membership for completely free. Consider January and February on us. That's over $3,300 in value for totally free. Okay, two more months of mentorship, of Tyler's calls, of the trading bot. Because timing is everything right now, and the Fed chair changes in May. Markets will front run that, and then we'll have the easing eventually. Okay? So these 2 months could be the difference between catching the move and watching it happen without you. Now, bonus number 2. This one's personal. I'm giving you my actual portfolio allocation, what I'm doing right now with my own money, the exact percentages, the exact assets, the exact levels I'm watching, how I'm thinking about risk going into 2026. By the way, it's the 40-40-20. I just go in deep details. Okay? This could save you months of guesswork and thousands of mistakes. The allocation will be presented in a memo where I explain everything on my positioning and the rationale behind it. It will be handwritten by me. Okay, so that's bonus number 2. Bonus number 3, my 4-year investment plan. 2030 is the target. I have it mapped out. I know what I'm doing, for me at least. So most people in this space are thinking about next week, maybe next month. Maybe you are. I'm going to give you my entire roadmap to 2030. The macro thesis, the cycle expectations, the key milestones I'm watching. So you can position yourself not just for this cycle, but you already have mapped out a plan, okay? How are you going to take advantage of the markets in the next 4 years? With total clarity and with a long-term investment plan, because this is what it works. If you've been with us for a long time, you understand we're not here to get rich quick. We take this very seriously. Okay? That is the edge. And again, handwritten by me. A memo that you will be able to keep with you for the next couple of years and revert back to. Again, there are people willing to pay me $150K for one-on-one consulting to help them implement their investment strategy. I help some people beyond digital assets, right? As a CFA, I'm giving you the roadmap. And finally, something we have barely even spoken about. The early access to the DM equities program. I can't say too much on this one right now, but we're expanding beyond digital assets. We've hired some incredible people, that caliber, very expensive, with proof of results to come and teach you this. And members who upgrade now, they get first access to the DM equities program. This is what's coming next at Decentralized Masters. This will be in Q1. Again, I can't reveal the details yet, but just think in a way, okay? Just think. Everything is going tokenized. The SEC chair just said all US markets are going on-chain in less than 2 years. We want to prepare you not in 2 years. We want to prepare you now in Q1. And so we're going to teach you DM equities program, and then we're going to get you ready for tokenized stocks to take over the world. Because the advantage with tokenized stocks is you get all that you're already doing with the stock market, plus the extra 5 to 10% yield in the pools, because you become the market maker. And you will be able to do that with tokenized stocks. And we're going to be at the forefront of it. Okay? So I'm not allowed to tell you more about this, but you can trust us. You know how we operate. Here's what I can tell you. You're getting a seat at the table when this thing goes live in Q1 of 2026. Boom, you get it. All right? Now, you just saw uh, we broke the calendar. Sorry, Troy. Sorry, Melissa. We broke your calendars. So let me be direct. These bonuses are not available indefinitely. And yeah, we were not expecting that much, guys. Thanks, Travis, for fixing. So these bonuses are not available indefinitely. The extra 2 months, my ideal portfolio, the 4-year investment plan, and the early access to DM Equities program will only be available if you upgrade before the end of the year. Now, I've seen a lot of questions on the chat. I've been in for 3 months. Can I upgrade? As I told you, if you are in for 3 months and you upgrade, the remaining time that you have on your current membership would move to gold automatically. You would get all the gold accesses right away. You don't have to wait. And that's why we're doing this, okay? I don't want to deal with the complexity of having to figure out in Feb when we launch the trading bot how many people we're going to have. We need to know the capacity, okay, beforehand. That's why we're doing this end of year bonus stack. So, after this year is over, you will still be able to upgrade at a certain point of time, but you will miss all of the bonuses. You have my word, it wouldn't be fair to the people taking action on this call and taking action before December 31st. So you would be missing the bonuses, okay? Now, let me handle what I think will be a couple of common concerns about the upgrade. We can discuss that with Travis, with Tyler, with Greg right after. But I don't want you guys to pass up on this opportunity because of one lingering concern in your mind. So one of the questions is, what if I'm not technical enough to use the bot? You don't need to be. We've built this so you can set it up once and it runs. Okay? Our team walks you through the setup. You'll have videos. Your mentor is there anyway if you get stuck, but you won't. We have office hours every single day, as you know that. Okay? So same thing here. We show you how to set it up and then it's hands off. Like for once, we have something that is completely one hands off. That's the goal. You can adjust the parameters, okay, yourself. You will have control over that, but we'll show you how to do it. You just need to connect it, turn it on, and let it do its thing. Okay? Now, another one I've seen is, can I just wait and see how the bot performs after it launches? You could, 100%. And guys, I think you have a lot of value already, and I'm not encouraging you to do anything that you don't want to do. That's totally fine. You've seen that we have way more demand than I was expecting anyway. So it's cool. You could wait until Q3 though, because if you don't take it and you don't upgrade to gold by the end of the month, you would have to wait until Q3. Watch from the sidelines, but that's cool. See how other people do. And when you're finally convinced, you can do it. That's fine. Okay. And yes, the bot just trades in both ways, William. It trades up and down. So again, if you do that though, you will miss all the bonuses that I mentioned. And yeah, you would have to pay full price and that's it. I can't make this decision for you. I think it's really best to talk to our team and figure out if yes or no this is for you. Even they wouldn't let you, you know us, they wouldn't let you do anything that would be against your own best interest. We don't do that. I think you've learned that we're ethical enough to not do these kind of things. If it's good for you, then yes. If it's not, then no. There is a new booking link that is in the chat right now that you can use. Okay? Now, as I said, the window closes December 31st. So let's add this up. On your screen now, you see everything you get by upgrading to gold right now. So one-on-one mentor support locked in. Advanced office hours. In the advanced office hours, you only have advanced people asking advanced questions. What it means. You get access to both trading rooms, the beginner and the advanced one. You saw the email that Juan received from Daniel. You know Tyler. I don't need to talk about Tyler. You get the gold inner circle meetings with Doc. After every MIS, there is a breakout room you can discuss. Those usually are very strong. You get the gold WhatsApp group. Greg will tell us about the benefits of being in the WhatsApp group as well. And you get the DM trading bot. And if that was not enough, bonus number one, 2 additional months, value is 3,300. Bonus number two, my ideal portfolio allocation. Bonus number three, 4-year investment roadmap through 2030. Bonus number four, early access to the DM equities program. Now, the bot alone, guys, if it continues performing anywhere close to what it's done over the last 365 days, it could pay for this upgrade multiple times over. But I don't know if it's going to keep doing that, right? I like to trust Tyler. So 206% on a $10,000 investment, that's 30,000 in your pocket at the end of the year. So basically, in that scenario, with just 10K in the bot, the upgrade pays for itself. And everything else is profit. Now, I need to be very clear about something. December 31st. Okay, we need to know exactly how many people we're going to service with the bot, and that's why we're doing it. And we're stacking the odds in your favor to do it now, or just wait for Q3, and that's fine. All right? So, as I said, here's what I want you to do right now. If you are a bronze member and you want to upgrade to gold, if you're a premium mastermind premium member and you're ready to renew to gold, book your call. You can discuss. I've seen people asking, can I access platinum? Well, it's invite only, meaning you can tell your VP of membership that you want to be platinum. They will walk you through what that is, and maybe, but they would have to invite you in. Okay. So, as I said, the VP of membership will walk you through everything. You probably know Troy, you probably know Melissa. Maybe you actually know them really well. It's them. You know them really well. All right. So, I think we've broken all the calendars, guys. Travis, what is the situation with the calendars before we go into the Q&A? Just quick question. Can you go on mute?
Yeah, we are pretty much running out of calendar space. We're gonna have to hire some more people here.
Maybe open yours.
Yeah,
You know.
that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see that.
Elizabeth,
Yeah,
Melissa,
Elizabeth.
Troy, full.
Oh my God.
So let's start booking into
Yes,
mine.
Greg is coming for the story of Greg. Okay, Travis, maybe figure out something because is there anyone who hasn't booked yet? Because
We're
we're
figuring
out
it
of
out.
space. Oh my gosh. Okay, so cool. Let's talk about Greg, okay? Mr. Greg, thank you for being here and sharing that story. First of all, guys, I want you to acknowledge it's not easy at all to come and talk about this thing in front of a crowd of 229 people. So, round of applause for Greg for doing that. That proves that he's really has his heart out for you guys. So, Greg, I really want to start with the moment that shook a lot of people. With when our team stepped in and helped you avoid what could have been a 7-figure loss. So, can you just walk everyone through what almost happened there?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for inviting me. And you are right. It's difficult to show a red face when you make a potentially massive mistake. And yeah, we're like a family. The team was there. One of the great things about, can everyone hear me? Am I good, Tam? Thumbs up.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. About the WhatsApp group is because people are all over the world, there's always somebody available. Now, I happen to be in Canada. And the way it shook down was really relatively simple. We've all had calls from a credit card company that says your card has been um, compromised and you should not use it anymore. And that's how it started. I use the Ledger app and the ledgers to protect my digital assets. And I got a phone call, and it was from a number that said CL credit card, which is CL is the Ledger credit card. There's a MasterCard in there. And the ironic part is I got this CL credit card to do a couple of things with Decentralized Masters to pay my fees in Legacy and to order things from overseas. I had recently been in Europe, in Italy, where I paid for something with that card, and in hindsight, I now realize that it was like a food delivery service or something that I didn't actually use, but somehow they got my card. So the gentleman who called me, his name was John. He was British. He was very kind and convincing. And I wasn't at home at the time, but I was quite rattled by the phone call that my Ledger credit card had been compromised. So he said to me, hang up the phone, go home, get out your 24 phrase, 24 word passphrase, and we'll walk through how to protect you. So I was about 45 minutes from home, and all the way home, I was pretty rattled. So I got home and I got out my 24 word passphrase. He called me back exactly when he said he would. And the more I listened to him, the more legit it sounded. But I must say, I had something in my stomach saying, this is weird, because the number of times I've been told never give out your passphrase is in the hundreds, maybe thousands. So while I was on the phone with him, I got on the WhatsApp group and I just put it out there. Has anybody ever heard of this company? And immediately the response I got from Zugas and Esmail, I think, is it you, Esmail, was stop,
Yeah.
don't, get off the call, hang up on the guy. And I did. And then immediately Zugas and Esmail got on a call with me. Uh, First of all, I think to calm me down. Secondly, to show support. And thirdly, to make sure I wasn't going any further with what John, the smooth British scam master, was asking me to do. So I I got a lot of help from the guys. I've actually had entered some of the words onto a website that wasn't real, and that was how they were going to get my passphrase. I stopped doing that. Obviously, didn't press send, and then in safety with Zugas's agreement, um, I also removed anything I had on that ledger off of it in case they could use some of those words to go further. And I had another ledger, luckily. So and since then I've abandoned the first one I had, and I have two that I use. So the big part of my story is I've been with DM for 2 years. I've had great success. I've had a lot of fun. I've learned a ton, and I'm not new at this. I should know better, but it was really good to have support.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, Even I am in the chat. We can see, and even I was like, yeah, you can see on the chat. Even I texted. I was like, ignore. Ledger wouldn't call you ever. And then I remember on that moment on our internal Slack messaging with Ismail and Jugas, I was like, call him now. So, and that happened, right? They called you. So let me
Yeah.
ask you, if you hadn't had this platinum level access in that WhatsApp group, no direct line, no rapid feedback, not our team watching over you, what do you think would have happened? Like, honestly.
Well, I like to think that my gut was really telling me something was off, and I would have told John, my new buddy John, to call me back in a few hours, and I would have tried to get a hold of somebody. Um, but I may not have been, uh, that confident to let him let me go because I didn't have the DM team. So I like to think I would have not been scammed, but I probably easily could have been. I have been scammed before, and uh, anyway, had I gone on with what John said, I would have lost more than seven figures.
Yeah,
Not eight figures,
these
but more than $1 million.
they're very good. Like the you have to almost give a hats off and say, wow, you are extremely good because everything I have learned and like, by the way, guys, I've been scammed for 200K. Okay, me too. Um, because I
Yeah,
didn't
my
have.
earlier scam was a simple phone number scam, but The bottom line of what you're saying is that the man had all of my personal information, which who knows where he got it, but he had everything except for, the passphrase, which you don't give to anybody. In addition to that, I was smart enough to say, can you send me an email that shows me who you're working for and where you're from? And he was so smooth that he kept saying, yeah, the email's coming, but he was also deriving any other email addresses I might have. He said, oh, give me another email address I can send it to. Do you have another email address I can send it to? So he was actually gaining more information while he was trying to let me know who he was. But I never did get an email from him.
Mhm. Okay, smart. Good lesson too. And by the way, always remember that there is nothing urgent, right? When they call you and they say you have to do it now, they will press on urgency. Nothing is urgent when it comes to moving your money, not even selling on the market when the market is going up. Or you remember? I remember Rita, for example, you were seeing the price of Bitcoin drop every single second you were watching and refreshing. And I was telling you, the sky is not falling. It will come back, relax, right? And it did. So it's the same thing. They use that same technique of urgency. And that's why having people in your corner, I mean, it would have saved my ass. I lost 200K. I wish I had a WhatsApp group.
It was
All the mistakes I made, like the goal is to avoid, we create this thing, DM, to avoid you guys making the same mistakes, literally.
yeah. The other thing that was really inspirational was Zugas and Ismail were calm, and they did get me on a video call so I could see their faces and see the calmness within them, and that nothing was urgent. And because Johan really made it sound urgent.
Of course, that's what he has to do to be able to get the money. So why are we talking about this, right? A lot of members think I just need the right info. Just give me the info. Just give me what is going to pump. Just give me how to make more money. But we established the fact that digital assets are not going anywhere. They're going to grow and it's a must have, right? Then we established the fact that because it's a must have, you have to be in it, but it's a scary place as well. Well, what is the best way for you? You're already a part of the community, you understand that. But like, if you want to scale this in any meaningful way, you have to not only look at the upside potential, but the downside protection as well. And having a WhatsApp group, being part of that community, seeing each other's face, knowing each other's names, it's super important. At least I feel so. So, Greg, like, since we launched that WhatsApp group, what do you think? How has your bond with the other members evolved?
Oh, it's terrific actually. We we help each other often without any one of the mentors needing to jump in. Um, Jason was having an issue with Ledger one day, and I had clearly watched a lot of videos on protection, and and I was able to point him to a video that could help him out. Yeah, it's really it's a good group, and I think we're all looking forward to meeting each other, shaking hands, seeing how tall we really are.
You might be disappointed with my height, guys.
There's no might about that. They will be.
Yeah, but as long as they're not disappointed by my brain, then it's okay, you know. Okay, so uh some bronze and premium members might be worried about the cost of upgrading, etc. Greg, what do you think? You're a platinum member, so it means that you even paid more than that. Do you think it was worth it?
Yes, that's a pretty simple answer. Yes. And I wanted to mention something. You talk about watching the videos and having the information. That is very important. But attending the classes and that is the real um, important part. Understanding what's happening, being able to ask questions, and then seeing other people with the same questions.
Awesome. Cool. I have a good question here in the chat. By the way, guys, we can, move ahead and you can send the questions. I have a good one here. Can you explain what funds you use for the bot from the 40-40-20? So there's two things you can do. Either you can take um, anywhere between 2 to 5% from your stablecoin stash. Okay. So the 40% stablecoins, or because we've seen that it's pretty safe, it's, conservative growth, all of them aggressive. It fits for all of them. You could take it as an additional. You could see it as an additional something that helps you make money. That's what I would do. If you don't want to touch that 40-40-20, it's okay. By the way, the man of the hour, Mr. Tyler, is also here. So let's unmute Mr. Tyler.
I am.
And why don't you ask the man himself?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
done.
I'm
I'm done
right
doing
there
all
with
the
you right
talking.
now with how I'm considering everything. I'm looking at it from my stablecoin pool as is.
Awesome. Okay. Uh, do we have questions for Tyler, ladies and gents? Don't be shy. We're gonna share the question between myself, between Tyler, between Greg. Even Travis can jump in. Troy, you can jump in. We're a community. We can all talk. So just let us know what questions you have and we'll answer them. I don't see any question. You guys don't have questions. It's crazy. Will the gems call still continue? Of course. Tyler, will the gems call still continue? Tyler? Did we lose Tyler?
Tyler's giving us a thumbs up. He's a yes on that.
Oh, I think his son is there with you, with him. That's why. We can see your son, Tyler. It's cool. So your consciousness exists in Skynet now. I'm not sure I got this one. Mark, are you talking to Tyler directly? Okay, what are the details of how Tan got scammed? So I lost 200K to scammers.
There we go.
Yeah. Here you are. So I lost 200K to scammers. It was an OTC deal, crypto to cash, and they played a pretty. So one of the things that they did is that they actually sent me money, and that was very smart because then my guard went down because they were sending me small transactions to gain my trust. Okay. And so then I went to this OTC deal without taking any precaution because I was like, oh, that's cool. We've transacted before. And they swapped the ledgers, which is a crazy story. Right. But I got scammed 200K. So I lost 7 figures in my first cycle. Then I got scammed 200K, and yet I'm standing here in front of you with over 8 figures in digital assets, having created this beautiful community, #1 in the world. And the only thing that matters to me is that you guys never think that we're out for your money. We're here to make sure that we only see smiles on Greg's face. Like that we actually over deliver by so much that is just undeniable. That's just the goal. Now, of course, it's difficult to do that, right? But that's what we try to do. And Travis, Troy, and sometimes Tyler, our amazing team, makes it possible. You muted yourself, but I can't unmute
Yeah.
again. You see,
I'm
Tyler is like,
I'm here.
he's not as smart as we think he is.
Yeah. I got there's a question in here about percentage portfolio to invest with the bot. And so I have been using on this specific setup, maybe in a different environment, but I've been using about 2% of my overall crypto equity on the trading bot since May. Um, and as I continue to develop some of this stuff out, I'll probably work my way up towards about 4 to 5% total. Mostly due to the fact that I don't like volatility and I've designed around volatility itself. So, yeah.
It's a very good answer. What are all the membership levels from the beginning? I'm new. I don't remember reading any of this. Yeah, that's normal, Rod. Based on our experience, for example, if you didn't have the liquidity levels and thresholds that are needed for our higher tier memberships, they wouldn't even be offered to you because we're not in the business of pitching you something that wouldn't serve you, and that's why. We do that on purpose. I request my team to be very ethical and like for example, none of you would ever come in here taking a loan or financing and stuff like that because we don't allow it because we don't want that, right? So that's why we have qualification levels, and that's what keeps our community at the highest level because people are not desperate for something to work. They come in with a good understanding and they want to be in here for the longer term, and they understand the trajectory and that it will take some learning. Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't watch Terminator. Sorry, guys. OTC is over the counter. Yes. I am not able to make the 11th meeting. That's Corey. Guys, if you can try and help Corey reschedule. Shy. So now, according to what you say, we're getting into bear market to sell on the peaks to minimize losses, if any. All right. So here's my strategy. Let me explain again. When you look at markets and the charts, you have to be very unbiased, okay? The fundamentals are still good, but fundamentals don't tell you exactly when things are going to happen. They give you the direction of things over medium term. On the direction of things, I can bet everything I have that digital assets will keep going up. Okay? If we zoom out, I don't know if you know this, but this is actual data. This is actual figure. In the last 11 of the last 14 years, digital assets have been the best performing asset class in the world. 11 out of the last 14 years. Okay? If you ask me, I'm ready to bet everything I have that they're still going to be, especially for the next 4 years. Now, is it possible that they would miss 1 year out of the 4 years? Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. But the adoption rate is so big, it's so high, and people are not blind, right? So the short term movement, now that I know the bigger picture, okay, and I know that I want to be a part of the 33x, and I've been a part of the last 8 years, I've learned a lot. When I know that the bigger picture is this, then I think, okay, now what about the micro? What about the current price movements? Well, the technical trend, the bull trend of Bitcoin broke. Okay. So I'm like, I don't like to see that. In that case, let me move to my defensive positioning until Bitcoin reclaims that bullish trend. But I'm not going to sell massive red candles like 3 weeks ago when most of you guys were panicking. I was like, I know how this market works. If we've had a minus 30% very sudden, then we will have a rebound. And I'm going to sell easily on the rebound because I don't panic. I've seen this. I've seen a 30% correction 30 times in my life. You would hope that I would have learned something by then, right? You will get there. You will get there as well. You will learn how to not panic. I'm assuming, Greg, for example, when you joined DM, you used to panic and now you don't. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Yeah. I wasn't worried at all when Bitcoin went under 8 or under 90 grand. Just like we're going to learn about more on Thursday. I think it was Tuesday when it started going down.
Right. So you see, you get used to it. And once that emotion is stripped out, you have a plan, you understand what you're doing. Now, does that mean that you will win every single time? No. I've been down uh, from my peak, but that's not what you should be comparing. You should have a proper plan. So, my plan is what? Because the bull market support band has been broken, on the way up, on the levels that I gave you, I am selling on the way up. I'm expecting Bitcoin most likely to go at least to 98. Tyler, would you agree? Is it likely?
Absolutely. Yeah, especially with the setup that we've been kind of building up to the last few days. Be interesting to see how everything goes here in a few hours, especially, but yeah.
Yeah, so even that. I mean, for me, it was December and January.
Yeah.
We're only 10 days into December. So we need to relax a little bit, right? I remember when the market was at 81K or 84K Bitcoin, literally everyone was just panicking. And I was like, guys, nothing changed. Like nothing changed. Okay, and that experience I want to give to you guys. Same does our team, right? So obviously, what we told you happened. It rebounded, and we're now selling our levels on the way up, very relaxed. And we're moving into the 40-40-20 because we're still going to beat the market by far with this allocation. By far. Easily. And then, actually, if Bitcoin reclaims the bull market support band, then, because Bitcoin always leads, we will slowly rotate back into the altcoins we want. It's really simple, right? It's like no emotions attached. It's just that we don't have any loss aversion bias. We're fine with taking a small loss because we see the bigger picture and the bigger opportunity. I'd rather take a 5% loss and think, okay, that's not a big deal. Wait for the drop and then buy something at a very cheap price. I get way more excited by that because I know that then I'm going to do a 3, 4, 5, 6x or something. So I'd rather just buy low. I don't have any problem selling at a 5% loss. It's fine. Okay. So yes, that's the plan. Okay. Sell on the peaks to minimize the losses, if any. I'm looking into December and January. We're going to have some nice little pumps. If you didn't buy the top, I mean, most people should either sell in way profit or at least break even. If you bought the tops, it's a good lesson for you to maybe avoid buying so high next time, scaling into your positions more intelligently. It's a good way to learn. Keep in mind that I lost 7 figures and then I got scammed 200K. And I learned. And then I made it all back and way more. So if I can learn, you can learn. And you actually are with the best to learn, I feel. Okay, it was a long-winded answer, but you need to understand it. It's super important. Okay. Does the bot trade through Legacy? It's plugged onto Hyperliquid, and we'll see if we can do an integration. I sent Melissa a message. I could not book. The calendar is full. Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's pretty crazy. You have destroyed the calendars. Champions never panic. Yeah, I mean, you all have, guys, think about it. You all have one specific skill, one aspect in your life where you have more knowledge than most people. Think about it. What is it? Is it piano? Is it biosciences? Is it um, chem? I don't know, chemistry. I don't know. There's something where you are an expert, right? There's something where you do better than most people. Well, do you panic when it comes to that topic? No, because you understand it, right? You have mastery of that thing because probably you dedicated time to that thing. Well, investing is a skill, and you're your own enemy, and so are your emotions. By being in a group like ours with qualified people like we have here, your mentors or Tyler, who's extremely talented, right? And I think no one can deny that. Well, you increase your likelihood of actually developing that skill and having mastery. Now, you have to decide if investing is something that is a big pillar of your life and you want to really master. Is it that important for you? Yes or no? I think that everyone needs to learn this because making your money work for you is essential. That's my opinion. You could disagree. And in that case, well, why would you expect any different than what it took you to master where you're good at, right? If that's piano, for example, how many hours did that take you? Well, it's the same thing. Invest the hours, be with the right team, pick the right team, of course, and then dedicate yourself to it. You will make mistakes, but you will also benefit from other people's mistakes, which is us. Okay? Josiah says, we are very excited to work with you, father-son duo. Out of curiosity, we just finished the training, are entering in the advanced sessions. We are huge on the blue chip coin XRP. However, it is not really mentioned throughout the education. Why might this be? What are your personal thoughts on XRP? So, Tyler, maybe you want to say this one out loud for those who are not reading the chat.
Okay, yeah. So XRP doesn't really have a lot of stuff going on from like a DeFi perspective by any means. If you go on DeFi Llama, I mean, it's not really there. Yes, there's a few things that are built on the ledger itself, but the XRP ledger, that is not the ledger device, but it's really not super substantial. It doesn't integrate well with existing entities, all the EVM chains, the Ethereum-based chains that we deal with, the Solana-based stuff, the Sui-based stuff. It doesn't really integrate that well into that. But there are wrapped forms of XRP out there, like Coinbase has their CBXRP that's over on Base. Um, I know there's like UXRP and a few other ones out there, but those are wrapped forms of the token, not the native form of the token. Um, as far as the token itself goes and how I feel about the token itself, um, I think it's exceptional from the fact that it has this massive movement that just has a crazy just mindset. Like, hey, it's going to 10,000 and I don't care what you say, it's going to 10,000. And you see that all over Facebook, Twitter, you name it, right? So fantastic marketing from that front. However, I feel like a lot of the things that they've promised, or a lot of the facets that they're really pushing and saying, "Hey, this is what makes us novel or unique." It's either under it's overpromised, under delivered, and I think very much so overstated. Um, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So Alex asks, I recently started. Oh, by the way, my stance on XRP is kind of the same. If that wasn't clear, that's why I didn't say much. Alex, I recently started and finished step 1. What are the cons and pros for me to join the golden membership? I like it. Well, let me think about this because I don't want to say something that I don't agree myself with. Okay. If you are convinced, but first of all, I would say, you know what? Go through step 1, 2, 3. It shouldn't take you that long to understand the value of what we're teaching. By the way, you should have access to DA 5.0. So if you can do that directly on DA 5.0, which is live, and guys, even if you've gone through DA 4.0, you should do DA 5.0. It's really good. It's the best of the best of the best. And we put a lot of time into it. So yeah, I would probably try and go through a few of the steps. If you already know, and usually guys, for me at least, it works this way. It's a gut feel. If you have the gut feel that you are in the right place, that you are with the right team, that you need to learn this, and this is the right group to do it, then I would just consider the value of the bonuses that you saw today, plus the trading bot if you really want it. Okay. It doesn't change anything that you're in step 1, because even if you started like 5 days ago or 15 days ago, if you did upgrade to gold, you would get the remaining days of your membership. So the whole 6 months, if that's what's remaining, added with all the access from the gold tier, you would just unlock everything right away. So you're not losing everything, you're actually gaining. You signed up for a membership with less access, you would get all of that on top. The real question, Alex, is, are you ready for this? Do you want this? And do you think it's the right team? Do you believe that DM is providing the value? Do you think that the trading bot will provide the value? That only you can answer. Now, if you're on the fence and you really want to understand better, book a call if it's possible. I'm getting info from Travis that we broke 4 calendars, guys. Like, we backed out 4 people's calendar. We had booked only 2. So it's a bit overwhelming, but thank you. We appreciate that. What will be required of us to do on daily or weekly being a new DM bot program? 0. You would just have to watch the videos to learn how to set it up, and then you enjoy. You do nothing. That's the whole point of the DM bot.
Yeah, you press start bot, and then whenever you're done, you press stop, but it runs 24/7.
My ETH is getting to point to sell, but gold is way above the buy points. Should I load up on stablecoins in the interim? Great question, Mark. I like the fact that you're really thinking about this. Very good question. Why is this a very good question? Because a lot of people who wouldn't even be in beginner level by then, because beginners would have panic sold their ETH 2 weeks ago. Intermediate level would see that ETH is coming to the levels we said and like be selling, but would buy gold right away with that money, whatever market buy, whatever the level of gold is. Expert level, what would they do? They would sell into stablecoins and then set limit orders at the levels we said on tokenized gold to buy it low at the prices we want and wait for it. Wait for the good entry. Or set up a DCA, which also works, and that's fine. Okay, but selling and immediately market buying gold when it's it's at a resistance area, clearly that would not be mastery. So very good question, Mark. You're on a very good path to mastery. I can sense it. Unfortunately, I can't see your face, Mark, but thumbs up on my end. Good job. Elaine, burning is learning. Yes, but it's always better when someone else gets burned and they tell you, hey, it hurts, right? That's what we're trying to do. Basically, we all got burned. Tyler, tell us how you got burned. Tell the team here how you
Which
got
time?
burned and, huh?
Which time?
I don't, the worst.
Yeah, well, I mean, effectively, both of them were very similar things. And there was a question in the chat earlier about stable coins and transparency, this, that, or the other. And as DeFi was coming into existence, coming into fruition, there was a lot of new stable coins that were being put out there that had the coolest technology ever, algorithmic stable coins, and they had all these different balancing mechanisms out there, and we'll get into the details. But put money into LPs, put money into the stable coin. I was earning crazy rates. That should have been my first heads up. The underlying token that it was attached to went from like 50 cents to $60. Mark Cuban was talking about it. It was great. Went to work one day. This is still whenever I was working in Hardscape, and look at my phone on my break, and I see that everything has come crashing down. What happened was this algorithmic stablecoin effectively consumed itself based on the mechanism that it had. The algorithm just kept going and going and going and going and going, and it went from I lost $200,000 in a day. That said, I had profited more than that because thankfully I'm super hyper aggressive about taking profits. Every single morning I would wake up, take profits, and then I go to work, take profits, go to work. It still sucked losing $200,000 in a day, mind you. And it's very similar to the Terra Luna collapse, right? Um, so yeah, that was my worst day.
Yeah, that was bad. I know. I'm seeing messages from our team saying like, guys, we just broke the calendars. Like, we have an overwhelming number of bookings, so they had to change calendars 4 times. What will be required of us to do on daily, weekly, being a new DM bot program? Oh, I answered that. Press start. That's it. 10,000 hours to become a master at anything. True. 10,000 hours. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good number. Otherwise, you really suck. uh, okay, I'm trying to scroll through. Tyler is quicker than me. He's answering to everything in the chat. Do you believe
That's
that the
what
carry
years of World of
trade?
Warcraft will do for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just a yapper, I just keep talking. Do you believe that the carry trade unraveling will bring some good entry points? Well, actually, it is one of the risks that I see and why a defensive positioning makes sense is what is the Bank of Japan going to do? Because it does affect the markets heavily. Recently, what we've seen in terms of movements, we're at the edge where if they actually raise the rates, etc., it could be an issue. because all that capital that is currently, Japanese cheap capital that is in international markets, it would come back to Japan because the rates would rise and they would be able to keep that money in the Japanese market. And that would basically affect the US stock market. That would affect crypto as well. And so, yes, that could be a reason. Now, I don't know exactly what the Bank of Japan is going to do, but it's something that we're watching. 100%. Yes. Good question, Corey. Thank you. Would you recommend setting up a TTS MTM structure to minimize tax liability if using the ABN system as means of income? I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm not American.
I'm American, and honestly, I honestly do not have the answers for that either.
All right. Guys, I just got the news. We had like 30 spots available for gold upgrades. We got 80 bookings. This is wild. This is wild. Uh,
Cool.
okay. Yeah, no, it's cool, but it's wild. Okay, Dave. So by the way, let's see the team if we're able to increase the number of gold seats. Travis, I need you right now. I don't know. Do we have a calendar, by the way, working for those who still like, guys? Just book, okay? But just know that there is massive demand. Like, I did not expect this. Okay, Dave, if I am at step 2 in 4.0, should I just jump to 5.0 and start fresh there, or complete 4.0 and then do 5.0? Honestly, Dave, I think you should. I think you can go to 5.0 and just start over because the information. Okay, nothing that we taught in 4.0 is not in 5.0. You wouldn't miss anything. In 5.0, there is only the top level new stuff. Like it's 4.0 plus more. Okay. So I honestly think that you're good with going to 5.0. And I am not afraid to say that it's the best financial education program on digital assets by at least 2 years of advance. No one else has this. Guaranteed. I might not be super tall, but I have a pretty good brain and I've seen it. It's really, I mean, I've created it with the team. It's really good. Do we have a question for Greg? Greg is here with us. By the way, do you guys know why Greg is with us? Well, initially, Greg, I don't care. I'm going to say the story. Greg is out there skiing or snowboarding, right? Celeste, can we unmute Greg, please? Uh, so Greg, you went out for ski and then you said, "Hey, I don't care about your webinar and talking to the community. I want to go to snowboard." I'm just gonna say it. And then eventually you told us, "Hey, the it's not good puff today, so I'm okay. I can come."
Okay, let's get
Powder.
the language accurate
Pow.
here, Tan. I'm
It's the
I'm a
pow.
skier. I'm a skier, not a snowboarder. And
Okay.
it was supposed to dump powder last night, but it rained, so that's bad. And I believe I have in excess of 10,000 hours on snow. So that would be my mastery.
Dan spent too much
Mastery.
time in the desert now. Doesn't
Well,
know what it's called.
that was cheeky, Tyler.
Yeah. And I was coming to support you no matter what happened with the snow today, because I can go again tomorrow.
Thank you so much. That goes straight to my heart. You will have front seat at the DM Live event. That will be in Miami. And by the way, we set the date. So this is some info for those live on the call.
Put it
Don't
in the
miss the
WhatsApp chat.
market. You might get the info in the WhatsApp chat. No, actually, don't miss the Market Intelligence Summit in January. That's all I'm going to say. If it's something you want to do, the DM Live event, meet the community members, hang out in Miami, and like, of course, we're going to put up a show, right? Like, the top level information, how to make more money, etc. It's all being planned in the, you know, behind the curtains. And so don't miss the Market Intelligence Summit in January. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. By the way, you started as Mastermind Premium, right, Greg?
Yes,
Yes, and then you upgraded to Platinum when your renewal
correct,
came. What is the
correct.
difference, according to you? When you made that move, what happened for you? What did you see? What is the difference?
Um, the access to mentors, the access to the trading room, the classes, and as opposed to being worried about how this is going to work out or was going to work out, it's more of a confidence and this is going to work out. And if I have any questions, there's always someone to ask. And then when the Thursday summits, and this is my advice to everybody, don't miss any of them. I mean, don't just come to the one in January, come to them all. And you know, watching you guys grow and improve the systems, I think I've been through the accelerator at least 2.5 times. You know, there's some stuff that I skip over because I understand it now, but having access to everything all the time has been, and platinum, as a platinum member, the, you know, worrying about getting the perks, you don't have to worry. You get them all. Everything that's available to Tan and the staff is basically available to the platinum people. We get advice on things, and then we get asked for our feedback, so we can kind of help mold what we think will help others.
Cool. What is the vibe, or what happens in those um, breakout rooms after the Market Intelligence Summit when we've delivered our whole thing? Walk us through what happens in those calls when we just sit and then we discuss for another hour. What happens there?
Well, first we get Tan's attempt at being a comedian. You know, I think after the market intelligence summits, he's tired and he just needs to let off some steam. So he does his comedy routine, and Salim rolls his eyes because he doesn't think Tan's that funny. And then we just discuss how it went, what we could make better, and what questions we have. I think there's someone in my backyard. My dog's going wild here. I don't know
All
if you can
good. Yeah,
hear
I don't
that,
hear
but
that.
okay,
No, we're
good.
good. Um,
Uh, Troy's jokes are even worse than Tan's, by the way.
Truth. I can second that, and he can't unmute himself right this second to. Oh,
Yes,
dang
I
it!
can. I
I
am
thought
the
he couldn't
all.
defend
I know
himself.
you're the all and mighty powerful Oz behind the curtain, but
He
would
got
you
me.
say, Greg, actually I have a question because I want to hear the answer. So, would you say that since you're a platinum member, it allows you to get everything you're looking for in less time?
Yes, absolutely. And there's a question in the chat from James Holden about how much time I dedicated daily to the DM education. In the beginning, it was a lot. I tried to do 3 hours a day, uh, and I started in the fall, so skiing wasn't on yet, so I was able to do that. And I still, dedicate a couple hours a day or at least 8 hours a week into my digital asset work. Now, there are weeks when I don't. I took a month off when I was in Europe, and I did check in for the market intelligence summits. But other than that, I really didn't do much. And luckily, October was mellow for us, and I think we're just getting into the real fun now.
Awesome. Uh, someone said you are taller when you stand on your wallet. Oh my God. You guys are funny. Okay, I'm trying to look for questions. Okay. Uh, Actually, you know what? Let me ask you a question and then you tell me in the chat. For some of you, after seeing all that, I mean, the presentation, after seeing all the perks you get in gold and all the bonus stack you get, what still keeps you on the fence? I would love to see that. Let's see. And the bot, of course. Of course. I'd like to wait. I'd like to earn above my 18K DM fees before I start adding more services. So far, my investments are down by half. So I am waiting for a return on investments before investing more. I get it, Spencer. I 100% get it. Now, there's one thing you need to protect yourself from, and I'm not talking about upgrading 100% understand. And honestly, don't do it. It's cool. What is important for me for you to understand is there is a bias that is called loss aversion bias, and that can make everything worse. Okay. I don't know when exactly you started. So let me just give you a piece of advice. When I was in 2017, I bought pretty not super early, but like let's say mid-cycle. Okay. And so my portfolio went up and I went to 7 figures and then it started going down. And I was like, nah, this is just a correction. It's fine. I just got addicted to seeing that numbers on my screen. Okay. And eventually it came down where I started. And I kept telling myself, okay, you know what? I'll sell when I'm break even. I'll sell when I'm break even. Who has already thought I sell when I break even? Most likely a lot of you. That is a massive mistake because this is loss aversion bias literally ingrained in you. Let me give you an example. If tomorrow I come to you and I say, let's make a bet. So, Jim Taylor, I see you on the camera right now. Let's make a bet. Okay? Let's make a bet. If we do a heads and toss, we just flip a coin. If it's heads, I give you $100,000. But on the opposite side of the trade, you would have to give me 50K. You should take that bet every single day, right? You should take that bet. But actually, most people will never take it. You will be there, you'll be thinking, oh, I understand the math, and then be like, no, I'm not going to take it. Because you actually put more value on not losing 50K rather than on winning 100K. This is the loss aversion bias, okay? How it shows up in investments, it's that when you have a trade that is down minus 5% versus a trade that is up 5%, you actually allocate more value on the negative side to the trade that is down 5%. You're like, nah, this one pains me, okay? And so what happens is usually people will not cut the loser, but they will cut the winning trade and take the profit and be like, all right, now let me wait for this one to come back to break even so I can close it. But that is a massive mistake. The best traders in the world actually they cut their losers and they double down on their winners. Literally the opposite. Now, how does that apply to your situation, Spencer? Well, most likely when you got in, you and I'm just guessing here, okay? But that's what I assume because I've seen it happen so many times. You got very excited, and so you didn't respect the entry levels. Your entry strategy most likely has been you saw something that you liked, you got hyped, boom, you put the full 20K in it. You had 20K to invest in that particular coin, you put the full 20K in one shot. Market price, boom. When DM actually teaches you, identify the levels, put the limit orders, and wait for it. Right? Entry ladder on the way down and exit ladder on the way up. So most likely you didn't do that. Second of all, you most likely didn't really understand where you were in the market cycle overall. And if you started recently, I'm not saying that it was the end of the cycle. What I'm saying is, for example, in August on the Market Intelligence Summit, when everyone was super excited, everything was up, Ethereum was printing all-time highs. With Tyler, we came not only on the Market Intelligence Summit, but most likely on all the sessions. And you heard us saying, we've hit a profit level. We're going into a resistance here. We're taking profits, rotating some into gold, blah, 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 blah. These are the same thing with gold. We told you we're taking profits. Why? Because of experience, right? Now it's okay. Right now, if you are upside down, the exit pump allows you to exit on the way up. It will maybe not make you whole, but please do not try to only get out when you make it whole. That's not the point. You have to, you know, understand that it might be a smaller loss than what you saw initially, but you need to see the opportunity that by preserving this capital, if you re-enter lower, you will not only make this back and this initial loss that you can consider a loss for learning. Okay, next time you will know it burns. But then by buying low with more capital, you'll be able to cross that easily, just like I did. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense? Good. So yes, I agree with you. Um, don't go for the gold upgrade in your situation, because by the way you phrased your question, I am feeling the fact that I just feel that you're not ready, and it's not a critic at all. I just understand it. You maybe are not there in your learning phase, and approach things, calmly. Learn better, be in the sessions like Greg said, reach that level of confidence, and then maybe then it will be for you, and that's totally fine, right? I get it. Josiah says, we just signed up with DM within 2 weeks and are moving fast through the education. We are fully converting from the TradFi world and going all in on DeFi. It is nice to hear a testimony. Hold your horses. Don't go all in on nothing in life, okay? It's great that you're excited. Understand things, get your feet wet. Do this with good brain and intelligence and like peace of mind, all right? Don't jump in, buy things recklessly, please. Watch the Market Intelligence Summits. Take your time. There's no urgency. Follow the plan. Conservative, all right, to start off. But I am glad that you're loving it. I also loved it when I moved from TradFi to DeFi. I was like, wow, this is a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
What is the date in January for the summit? Oh, yeah. By the way, so if we keep our cadence, right, there's one next week, and then the next one would be on 1st of January. Now, I love you guys a lot, okay? I truly do, from the bottom of my heart. But I'm not going to do it on 1st of January, because chances are I will be a little bit hungover, all right? So we'll do it on 8th of January. You see, everyone laughed. I am funny.
Uh,
Uh, what is the price for gold membership? You will know that on your call, because it depends on the length. I got out of all XRP in October. That was a good move. What shall I replace it with, Sol? I mean, right now, good question, but we're not going into altcoins. We think that we'll have better buying opportunities. You saw our positioning. Dave, still too new to DM, have much to learn before I build confidence. Yes, build your confidence. You're in the right place. Attend the sessions, talk to your mentor, develop a relationship. We are here to make the most of the next 4 years in front of us. 2030. That's your target. And you will ace this. You are in the right team. When will you announce your selection for DM ambassadors? Amazing questions. I am actually going through that list myself. By the way, Chris Monte, I loved your performance. Loved it. Melanie as well. I loved your performance too. Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. We requested your video submissions for the DM ambassadors. We got so many submissions. It was, again, I mean, it's overwhelming. We love it, right? We're so happy that you guys are so engaged. It's amazing. But that takes time to go through everything. And then all the stuff with the market happened. We had to do so many extra sessions, like today, for example, is an extra session. Plus, we're working on so many things. We announced the roadmap, the trading bot, the equities program, the live event, and then the DM investment fund. So many things we're doing. It takes a lot of work. As you know, we're 130 and growing in full time employees. That in itself takes a little bit of my time, a little bit, right? Plus crypto knowledge, all these things. But I saw your video, Chris. I saw your video, Melanie, myself. I'm looking at those myself. I am looking to have the team reach out to you. I don't want to say something and that not be true to my words. I hate that. So hopefully by before the end of the year, so that the ambassador program kicks off really well for 2026. All right. At least I gave myself 20 days. Cool. Overconsumption of focusing on loss instead of focusing on what can be potentially gained. Yes, I mean, yeah, you have to just, if you broaden your time horizon, okay, that's the first step. You have to broaden your time horizon, stop thinking crypto, as I said in the presentation, because negative connotation. Your brain thinks getting rich quick, your brain thinks gambling, all these things. Think digital assets like an asset class. Think responsible. Here you are in a company where, I mean, it's not as if Salim or I were crypto gurus on YouTube or Twitter, right? I'm an ex-finance professional. Tyler is an ex-finance professional. You're surrounded by people who have degrees and analysts, etc. We don't treat this as a gamble, so you shouldn't as well. Okay? Uh, Uncertainty of whether or not I am at the point I can benefit from it. I am a newbie. I think I mean, if you've booked a call, you will know better. It's difficult for me right now to say what kind of uncertainty you're talking about. Um, Again, if you're a complete newbie, you can forget about the fact that um, it would change anything to your membership because it would just only be upgraded from here, right? Any time left. It's more about, are you getting the value? And if not, maybe that's the right moment to get more value, especially if you value the trading bot, for example. But again, you have to decide. What the ROI could be with the bot. Well, just like I said, past 365 days, 206% average performance. Tyler, why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah. So as far as the performance goes, I mean, I've got some numbers right in front of me actually. I've been working on the bot as we speak.
Why don't you
Um,
share the screen for us? I
sure,
mean,
might as
if it
well.
applies.
Oh, sharing is not turned on. Send request. All right. So let's dismiss that. Screen one. Yeah, so I'm messing around with some Ethereum settings right this second, and I have a whole optimizer system that I'm running as well. But right now, looking at the last year of data with this current setup that I'm running, so 2 hour granular data on like based on 5 minute data, um, total P&L at 105% relative to the starting equity. So with starting equity of 10,000, this was a gain of 10,539. It's not using all the equity in every trade at the same time, right? It's just a percentage of the equity at that point in time. We do have caps as well, so that it can't be like way too degenerate with like 50x leverage or 100% equity or anything like that by any means. But with this setup, this is, winning 60% of the time roughly. The biggest drawdown being about 5%. And so the way to look at that would be like we can consider the drawdown that and the volatility that these currencies have, right? And so if I'm looking at the volatility or the drawdown that Ethereum itself, so buy and hold the asset, would have over this period of time, there was 7% drawdowns. But it's really, I mean, if we look at the equity curve over the period of time, the blue line here is the bot, right? So I've designed it to be anti-volatile. So there'll be periods of time where maybe the asset will move up more heavily than the bot does, but then while the asset moves down, the bot is still trading on the downside as well. And so here we can see it compared against the S&P, which is a yellow dashed line, the orange dashed line being Bitcoin, and then the purple dotted dashed line is Ethereum over the same period of time. And yeah, I mean it's literally as simple as, I mean, yes, I have the backtesting system in here, but I have default settings. I have it such that you come in, you input your information. All of the money is housed on Hyperliquid, so there's no money that actually goes into this app itself. But you just put in the API keys, you press start, and then whenever you're done, you press stop.
Beautiful. Melanie is asking if the bot performs so well, why not allocate more than 2 to 5% of your digital asset portfolio? You can take the first shot and I'll take the second.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's one of those things where I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. Yes, this is a strategy, but it's just one strategy. My main overall comfort with my portfolio is still within stablecoin strategies or spot and hedge strategies as well. So it's just one facet of the overall thing, and I'm super conservative anyways. So yeah, my portfolio is 74% stablecoin as of 2 days ago. So I'm hyper conservative on this.
So that's a good, like, this is actually a great lesson here. And listen up. Tyler has an audited track record on his gems at 575% average performance over 500 picks, okay? More than half of the gems he gave live on sessions at least doubled in value. That is nuts. I have never seen anything like it, okay? Yet he's telling you that he's an hyper conservative person. What does that tell you? What is the
I
lesson
don't like
in there?
volatility.
What is the lesson in there? Then most likely, most of you are being overly aggressive and you're misrepresenting your own risk aversion level. Because when you want to grow your stack in any meaningful way, and meaningful for me is 7 or 8 figures, then you have to look at it over a longer time horizon, and capital preservation is ultra key. Okay, so uh, we teach you all the concepts, we teach you everything, but then at the end of the day, you're making that decision, right? So you have to be very conscious on how you're playing this, and that's why I like to tell you, hold your horses, don't go super crazy, because when it turns, it can hurt. Now, that being said, the guy has the most insane track record possible, and a lot of you in this call, I know, have benefited tremendously from it. So for the bot, he's going to give you the same answer, despite the crazy results that you just saw. 2 to 5% max is where we feel comfortable, because we know that it's better to be safe than be sorry over the long term, because we have time. We are good with our investments. We're probably part of the 0.1% in the world when it comes to investment, easily, I think. And yet, we're telling you, do it properly. Okay? Uh, so basically, the bot would be playing your speculative percentage of your portfolio, the same money you would use to play the gems. Yeah, like it was asked before. I mean, no, like the cap on the bot would probably be 5% of your digital asset portfolio. That's the max. Yeah. And it's good to have all these different type of, let's call them revenue streams or allocations, right? If you think about your all-weather portfolio, the trading bot could come in for 5%. Super cool. That's how you build a big portfolio with different pockets of your portfolio doing different things, right? The stable coins are protective. The tokenized gold is protective, but is expected to grow. So it's pretty good, right? Bitcoin is more risky, but has more upside in it, especially if you catch it at lower prices. Then your blue chips in a bear market positioning, defensive positioning, you might not want to have them. But if you're able to catch the blue chips lower, that's when the explosive returns happen. If I can remind you, Solana, for example, was trading at $9 in 2022, and now it went up to hit 260. You probably will have that kind of an opportunity again very soon. Maybe not at $9, yes, but why not 60? I think it's possible, right? And then the trading bot. Bye, Chris. The trading bot can represent 5%. It did 200% in 365 days with minimal volatility. That adds another type of pocket with good expected return, yet low volatility. So every one of these pockets is serving a different purpose. Elaine is asking, what is Tyler's education?
Yeah, I was typing out the longer form of that, but yeah, my formal education is in plant genetics. So I studied disease resistance in plants. Went out and worked for a few years, and I actually started studying the markets when I was 16, started trading at 18, so I was been trading for 14 years now. Um, but I ended up getting a really bad work injury and had to completely change my career. And I again had been trading for years. Went back, got some formal education on that, and yeah. But plant genetics to finance.
And then why don't you tell us about your experience building bots, algos, etc.?
Yeah, so when I went back to school after the injury, I specifically was like, hey, I'd like to learn more about the actual technical side about all the finance stuff. Went and learned how to code in Python and Pine, and was introduced to algorithmic trading. Figured, wow, this would have been really helpful over the last few years that I've been trading. This would have been nice, the 2018 downturn, all the ups and downs of the last bull market there was. And so I basically started developing bots straight after I finished up that program. Started up my own company to develop bots and all of that. I'm not very good at running my own company, so here I am. But yeah, I got all sorts of accreditations and all of that. Basically, went back to school to learn how to code, and here I am.
So you worked with a hedge fund for a while. What did you do
Oh,
with them?
yeah. Yeah, so the company was called Alpha Chain, and I was with them for a year and a half or so while I was building everything out. And yeah, I just did algorithmic trading for them. So basically, I would design my own strategies. They supplied me with the money. They gave me very, very tight parameters to work within. Max 1% trading per day. You know, you name it, right? And so. I was developing high frequency algorithms at that point in time and started realizing, hey, the high frequency trading stuff doesn't necessarily work out well for people that don't have access to the nicer commission structures and all of that. So started building out algorithms that worked for everyone else. I'm not working with them anymore, or not trading for them anymore. I'm 1,000% just with Decentralized Masters over more than a year now. I see
Absolutely.
that smile
How
on your face
exciting.
after I said that, Tan.
Yeah, of course. Of course. For our community, we get the 100% of Tyler.
Hey,
And
thanks again
everybody
for
else, by the
everything,
way.
Tan. I got to run.
We get the 100% of Troy as well, and the 100% of everyone else. Um, Thank you, Troy.
Yep. Take care,
All right,
guys.
do we have
Great meeting.
more?
Great job,
Do we
guys.
have? Thank you. Do we have more questions? As I said, I'm gonna answer all the questions. By the way, it's 10:26 p.m. here, so I have a lot of time. 10:26 p.m. and I'm feeling fresh. So, what you got? Tell me. What other questions do you have about the gold membership? Um, about your upcoming call? Because we've had like, I think 100 bookings, which is completely wild. We had 200 people on the call and like 100 bookings. You guys destroyed the calendars. I guess they will have to work until 10:30 p.m. like me as well. Lead by example, they said. Any other question or no? Just excited about the bot. Thank you, Anastasia. We are too. Canada did not lower
Canada did not
rates
lower
today.
rates. I'm
Interesting.
literally about to
When
turn
is
Bloomberg
the
on.
when is the FOMC?
So the decision comes in 30 minutes, and then 30 minutes after that is going to be Powell's talk.
Interesting. You're most welcome, Melanie. By the way, we used your testimonial. I love that video. You were very well spoken. Loved it. Thank you so much for that. Um, Great info. Thank you. You're welcome. That's our job. It is absolutely our job to give you the best education, financial education on the planet. I've always wondered why in schools or all these places, I mean, they never teach you anything about financial education, right? Yet you're supposed to have your active income and then you're supposed to have your investment income. They will teach you everything about jobs and active income and like working and all these things, but nothing about money, how money works. But money works. So it's key to learn about it. Rita, is now a good time to move assets to 20-40-40 or wait? Uh, we're doing it. As I said, between December and January, we're slowly moving there and you know the levels. So for example, what I do is whenever I see Bitcoin hitting my levels, which is uh, it was 93, 95, 98, 100, etc. Every single time that Bitcoin hits one of these levels, I sell a chunk and then I also sell a little chunk of the other alts when Bitcoin is my, compass. And so as I keep selling on the way up, I reallocate my portfolio to bring it to the 20-40-40. Now, as explained in a prior question, tokenized gold right now is not at the levels at which I want to buy it for. So when I sell into stables, put them into liquidity pools, etc. And then I put some limit orders on tokenized gold where I want it to be, and I simply patiently wait. Right? So I still have some alts and Solana, Ethereum, etc. because they haven't reached, I haven't finished my selling, as I think my selling will take until December and probably January, depending on how the bounce occurs. But the plan is, in motion. Yesterday I posted a message in Circle when Bitcoin was around 95 plus. Um, Plan is in motion. It's going well. We're following the plan. I remember you were a bit should I say scared? Maybe that's the right word. On the Q&A we had done, if you remember, 3 weeks ago. And you asked me the question, hey, but what if it just keeps dropping from here and Bitcoin doesn't even go to 90? And I told you, well, I can't guarantee you anything, but based on my past experience, most likely we'll be totally fine. And in 2-3 weeks, you'll smile at me telling me that I was right. Here we are. Right? Yes, I see you. Okay. Tan, where are you from? So, if you don't know about my story, I'm from Indian descent. My parents are from Punjab in India. They moved to France. And so I was born in France. I'm French. Je parle français, c'est ma langue natale. Um, so I'm French, born in Paris, born and raised. And then I lived in various different other countries. So I lived in Amsterdam, Netherlands. I worked there. I lived in the US. That's why my English is not so bad, let's say. In New York, as a Wall Street investment banker. If you've seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street, well, it was not like that. I wish it was, but it was not. I wish I had that life, but no. It was actually boring. I was working in my office from 9 a.m. till literally 3, 4, 5 a.m. every single day, busting my
Take care,
ass to
y'all.
make
I
it.
gotta head out.
Bye bye, Tyler. Thank you for joining, man.
Absolutely.
By the way, Greg, same thing. Huh? If you need to hop, thank you so much for joining us. It was a lot of respect, man, for sharing your story like that to the community. And, you know, most likely it will help someone. I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
thank you so
Happy
much.
to share.
Cool. I'll
I'll
finish
take
up my
off now.
story. So thank you so much. See you in a week, I guess, or
Yeah.
on WhatsApp.
Okay,
Thank you,
great.
sir. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
So yeah, I also lived in Colombia 1 year. Hablo español, si quieren. Me falta un poco de práctica, pero sí puedo hablar español. Hace un rato, pero lo aprendí y me acuerdo de todo. So I can also speak Hindi if you want. If there are some people who speak Hindi, हम हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं. मुझे पूरी हिंदी आती है. घर पे भी बोलता हूँ, बाहर भी बोलता हूँ. So हम हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं. So I have a thing with languages. I love communicating with people. I think it's super important. And so, um, numbers are not everything in my life. I also like communicating. And so when you run a global mastermind like ours, it's very helpful to connect with people in their own language. If some of you actually speak the languages that I just spoke, so either Spanish, either Hindi, either French, you probably connected with me at a different level in a second, right? You felt just like I was closer to you suddenly. Well, that's what happens when you take the time to learn someone else's language. It's a form of respect. And I really like that. So I would like to learn more languages if I can. Um, but life is a bit busy these days, so trying my best. Thomas says dollar lost AAA rating for the first time in the modern era. 1 trillion debt added in the last 2 months. We all know about end of free money in regards to Japan. If we all agree that the dollar is in trouble, USDT and USDC is purchasing all the US debt via bond. Why are we trusting the crypto dollar moving forward, especially with little oversight with these assets? Well, so USDT and USDC are backed by two companies called Circle and Tether. Circle is a public company, so you can see their reserves and what they have. If the bare minimum you would expect for USDC is to be backed 1-to-1 by US dollars, which is the case, right? They have to submit their filings. For USDT, it's a bit different. It's a company called Tether, and they not only back their USDT with US dollars, but also with a bunch of gold that they buy and a bunch of Bitcoin as well. Okay. Now, if these two companies go down, it would be trouble, right? But at this point, I'm feeling like even the US government can't really afford for them to go down. Now, I don't want to say never, but as you said, they've been the biggest buyer of bonds. Now, what is the problem the US government is facing right now? Is that with the competition from BRICS, China, and their influence, the US government actually needs people to buy their bonds, especially when they're refinancing them because the interest rates are so high. It is now critical for the US government that these stablecoin issuers actually keep buying their bonds because stablecoins are becoming a savior of the US government at this point. They've become critical to the nation. So, that being said, my best guess is that they're going to be okay. Now, why is it interesting to actually use stablecoin liquidity pools if we think that the US dollar is going to devalue? Well, because the stablecoin liquidity pools are actually helping you fight the devaluation and real inflation. The banks are giving you 5%. The bonds are, no, sorry, the banks are giving you 1%. Boo the banks, right? The bonds are giving you what? 4 or 5%. Boo the bonds. Stablecoins are giving you what? 12 to 15%. Beating the S&P and beating inflation, beating devaluation. Thank you, stablecoins. That's what I would say. Hopefully that was a helpful explanation. How big of a fund do you expect for DM bot to handle? We ran the math. You guys are no big players just yet. We're going to be fine. The problem is if I go in and Salim goes in, and then all of us, the DM guys, we go in, then it becomes a bit more. By the way, did you know that we have 2 billionaires in this community? Yeah. Actually, 3, sorry. We have 3 billionaires in this community that I know of. 2 of them are crypto founders, and they are 2 cryptos in the top 20. I'm giving you a big hint. In the top 20 cryptos, 2 of them, the founders, are part of the DM community, but they want to stay anonymous. We don't talk about them. And there is another billionaire who runs one of the biggest gold IRA companies in the US, one of the top companies. And he's actually looking to launch a stable coin backed by gold. And he's using DM's brains to help him in that venture. That was just a side note for you guys to know what kind of caliber we have here. This is my first meeting with DM, and I'm so excited and so impressed with this platform. Planning to learn and create real wealth for myself and my family. Thank you for the support. Thank you, Warren, for your comment. Really appreciate it. Great information as always. Thank you. You're welcome. I hate losing money. Me too. I hate losing money. It's just something. When your alts pump, but your assets are still at a loss, do you still sell those assets? Yes, because I follow my plan and I don't care about whether they break even, they're at a loss, or whatever. What I care about is the future. All right. It's like, for example, let's say, let me take an image. Okay, I have an image. Let's say I have an Amazon stock and I have an Apple stock. Okay. Let's say that my Amazon stock is upside down maybe 20%, and my Apple stock um, is just break even. Okay. Or your Apple stock is actually up 10%. Okay. For some reason, your tendency will be to take profit on your Apple stock and let the Amazon stock run up to break even because it's down 20% and you don't want to sell it. Okay. But what if I came to you and I said, and I whispered in your ear and I said, hey, actually, Amazon stock is going to be like, uh, it's just going to go sideways for the next 12 months. And Apple stock is going to double. What would you do? You would instantly sell the Amazon stock and put the money in Apple, right? But you will have needed that information from me when your initial gut instinct will have been, no, 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 no. My Amazon stock is down 20%. There is no way I'm selling this. Why? Why is that? It's because you have been taught value investing. You have been listening, and you have been listening again and again the almighty Warren Buffett tell you that it doesn't matter uh, where you buy, etc. What matters is the value. Investing, meaning you buy and hold. Who here has heard that in investing, you just buy and hold, right? Well, the issue is, guys, that advice does not apply to a volatile, fast paced market like the digital asset market. When we came up with the exit ladder strategy, in one of the webinars we did recently, I literally saw a comment from someone say, it is completely undeniable that if you follow the exit ladder strategy from Tan on the Market Intelligence Summit, that he said in front of everyone, you will have made a lot of money and you kept it. If you didn't take profits on the way up, and you actually were thinking, no, 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 this market is just going to keep going up, it's going to be a bull run, and I will hold, you got punished. You didn't respect the exit levels, you got punished. You didn't respect the entry levels when getting in, you got punished. So forget that advice. I honestly think that you should forget that advice, because the investing world has changed completely. The speed at which the markets evolve have changed completely. You're fighting against algorithmic trading bots and all these things, especially in the traditional markets. And when you have a Fed that is so unclear with what its policy is going to be, etc., you want to be making sure that you're taking profits on the way up, you're scaling on your way down, and you're making sure you understand how to position. Because here's the truth. Back in the days, there were very few market participants, and very few people even knew what technical analysis was and how to trade and all these things. Nowadays, in 2025, with the internet, so many people understand what support, resistance, all these things are. And so many people are watching the same things, right? You have so many more players. So you have to adapt. And the buy and hold doesn't work. All right, that was some learning. If you have money in the stock market and the dollar continues to lose value, would it be better to close this out and move to digital assets? No, I wouldn't say so. You should have a bucket of your investment going to stocks. You should have a bucket of your investment going to digital assets. There is no this or that. Things work in tandem. That is why we will have a tokenized stocks, DM equities program coming soon. That is part of the bonus talk today to teach you how to not only manage your digital assets, but also your stock investments, your equities. But no, why would you only have one or the other? No. Actually, equities have been doing better, especially AI equities. Not the S&P, but AI equities have been doing well. Can you please explain legacy to us? All right, let me make this very simple. I don't know if you read Larry Fink's. You know what? I'm going to share my screen and have you read it. It's not the whole article. I just want you to read one sentence. So, who reads here The Economist? Well, I do. And there is a sentence on what Larry Fink said that I want to show you. All right, here we go. So this article was published on The Economist maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, maybe a week ago. Yeah, a week ago. You see, it's Larry Fink and Rob Goldstein on how tokenization could transform finance. Okay. December 1st. Sorry, my bad. 10 days ago. So I highly recommend you read it. It talks about tokenization and how, I mean, it's the golden era for crypto apps that is going to start now. And if you read this sentence here, it says, and I'm going to read it for you. In the future, people won't keep stocks and bonds in one portfolio and crypto in another. Assets of all kinds could one day be bought, sold, and held through a single digital wallet. Okay? This is what legacy is. He's talking about the future. I'm talking about now. That's it. Legacy allows you to do that's digital wallet where you will have all your financial assets in one place. Plus, you will be insured, you will have that security that they will go straight to your beneficiaries if anything ever happens to you. You will be able to do one-click swaps into tokenized stocks, tokenized bonds, tokenized real estate, whatever kind of financial asset. And not only you will be able to buy them, which is phase A, you will be able to do phase B, which is to earn yield on your tokenized stocks, you will be able to earn yield on your stocks. Yes. You will be able to earn yield on your crypto assets as well. And then you will be also able to buy your gems directly into Legacy, Tyler's gems. Cool, right? So it's a simplified way to do everything. Your one-stop shop for all your investments. That's the vision, and we will get there. Any dates for Miami? I cannot give you the dates. You would have to come to the Market Intelligence Summit in January. How many languages do you speak? 5. And I don't just say 5, I speak fluently all 5 with good accent, which for me matters more than, half-assing some kind of language. I'm fluent in Danish. Well, I'm not. I wish. The French accent and living in NYC already connected long time ago. Haha. Thanks for everything. You should learn Vietnamese. Wow, that will be tough. Is it recommended to buy Circle stock as part of your portfolio? Okay, I see your question. For this one, you probably want to ask Tyler. Get in one of his trading room. That's why having access to the top level folks, basically, when you get gold and platinum, that's when you start getting very close to Tyler and myself. You saw, for example, with Greg, with some other members, we know them by name and because we interact together. So as you keep progressing within your DM membership, if you get to gold and platinum, you get access to the top guys. It's that simple, right? So my recommendation, Hussein, is honestly, I think Tyler is a pro when it comes to the circle stock, and he would know better. If you don't upgrade and all these things, just talk to your mentor so that he can get Tyler's stance on it. That would be the best play here. If you have 7-figure exposure to equities, what percentage would you expose to digital assets? I like to have 20 to 30%. This is in DA 5.0, by the way. I teach you guys how to look at your overall investments, not just digital assets, and I tell you how I look at things. If you have 7-figure exposure to equities, what percentage would you expose to digital assets? I like to have 20 to 30% of my overall portfolio into digital assets. Do the billionaires need an assistant or something? Well, I need an assistant, and I'm not a billionaire yet, but I definitely plan to be. But for the learning, I mean, you have to learn by yourself. So I assume, by the way, yeah, they learn. They sit and they do the DeFi accelerator that you do. Billionaires are doing it as well because they understand the value of this education, right? And they don't have their assistant do it. They do it themselves. I question no one going to answer my question about worldwide new alerts. Uh, Bison, can you ask your question properly? I didn't understand it. Where and how do you buy tokenized gold? So, well, on Legacy, yes. It's PAXG and XAUT that are the recommended tokenized gold assets. I need gold IRA plan. Whoever you are, DM me, please. Why would you need that? You have tokenized gold. It's better. Warren Buffett, he was against digital assets. Well, you guessed right. He actually exposed himself through ETFs. He actually bought a $200 million bank that focuses on digital assets. So you shouldn't focus on what they say. You should look at what they do. JP Morgan called crypto a scam for the longest time. And then what did they do? They bought it from you. Jim Taylor, closing some projects in the next few weeks, and I will have some cash, and I'm not leaving it in the bank. Should I implement the 40-40-20 to start for most of it? Yes, I agree. And then some extra on gems and the bot. Yes, I agree. The 40-40-20 is a great place to start. Again, don't get excited. Look at the right levels. You know, time your entries well. Learn that skill. It's very important. And then 5% on gems and bot. You should do well. Most investment firms are still saying digital assets are too volatile, but they're going there. Why do you think they're saying that? They want to buy yours. We will need to book tickets for Miami. Dates will be good to have. 100%. Don't worry about that. We got you. We're DM. We know what we're doing, right? And for Miami, the venue is incredible. I can guarantee you that. Top level. What are your thoughts on Zcash? The team loves it. And I think it was in a buying zone recently because it came back down. But yeah, it's a good asset. Privacy, good asset. Where can we buy Legacy? You don't need to buy Legacy. It's available for a free trial for just $1. So no need to buy it. Um, Let me find a link for you. Just give me one sec. We literally have it's crazy. We have a company called Legacy, and we just don't even, push the link to people. That people have to ask for it. I'm sorry. We should do better. Okay, here, I found it. Here's the link for the $1 free trial to Legacy. If the dollar collapses and you're invested in the stock market, won't you lose all of your money? Actually, it's quite the opposite. For a certain while, if the dollar is going down because your stock is denominated in US dollar, for a certain time, it might go up actually, right? Because if it's like Amazon slash USD, if USD is going down and your Amazon stock has the same value, then the price is going up because USD is going down. You understand? You always are comparing something to something. It's quoted in USD. But if the US dollar is really falling, then companies like Amazon, etc., would be affected. Their revenue, their profit, etc., and then it will go down. You understand? These are two separate things. The price effect because of the US dollar currency versus the actual valuation, the true valuation and value of Amazon because of how the US dollar's devaluation affects its business. Those are two different things. Why not focus stablecoin purchases on euro instead of USDC? Oh, you can, Jim. But focusing, I don't think it's necessary because you have tokenized gold and Bitcoin pockets that are going to help you. Now, diversifying into EURC, like Tyler does a little bit, is a good thing. But focusing, I don't think so. I had approximately 150,000 in crypto when I joined DM, and it is very far away from the 20, 40, 40. How do I correct? Yeah, I've seen most of you guys came in with portfolios. I was like, oh, this is way too risky. You're going to get slapped in the face. Well, Hussein, I highly recommend you watch the 2 last market intelligence summits where we explain that we're basically slowly rotating into the defensive positioning by using the bounce that we're currently actually experiencing right now. We have levels on Bitcoin 93, 95, 98, 100, 102, 105, and we keep selling on the way up, selling, 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 not only the Bitcoin, but also the altcoins that we're holding into stable coins and then moving towards the 20, 40, 40. That's how we're doing it. We're selling the bounce on the way up, on the way up, on the way up to keep taking profits. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 3 hours that you're with me. I am surprised by your endurance. I am surprised by the fact that you're able to listen to me for so long. I would have shut down the computer and said, this guy is a pain in the ass. But you're still here. But honestly, I appreciate you a lot for your trust, for your endurance, for your time, because time is your most precious asset and you dedicate it to me, and I feel honored. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you learned something today. Um, you must be newbies, yes. Brain, humor, and hair. Hey, did you see my hair? It's pretty good. Came back. Um, I really hope you guys, uh, are getting value. You're learning something. Um, that you see what we're trying to build here as a community and how important it is to us to give you that value, that knowledge that we feel is invaluable, at least for us. So thank you again for your time. I really don't underestimate what it means. I don't. So thank you so much. And I guess I will see you very, very soon. Bye now.